cycle.
Move with wisdom,
Build with faith.
smart action training.
They told us chase fast money,
Bad money,
worship greed,
love for trading,
panic with the crowd,
modern Babylon,
build on fear.
distraction and emotional slavery.
But discipline,
Patience,
wisdom,
wisdom,
that's how you escape the system.
smart action trading.
Yeah. Jericho walls falling when my faith get louder. Used to trade emotional, now my spirit's stronger. Joshua rebuilding while they doubted every step. Now the pressure build diamonds every time I get tested. Escaping Babylon,
I can live shade of fear.
market full of idols.
I just walk with vision clear.
Planting seeds of silence.
While they chase attention.
Labor bring the harvest when you move with intention. Used to chase every candlelight and move of salvation. Lost inside the noise, trapped in desperation. Babylon system got the masses moving blind. Over leveraged souls getting swallowed by the grind. See the trust became mirrors showing pride and greed. Every red candle exposed what's inside of me. Had to crucify emotion, let discipline arise. Cause my vans trading kill quicker than the thief at night. Jericho standing tall like impossible resistance. But faith make walls go after consistent persistence. Joshua marching even when it made no sense. The patience in the walking when you wait for confirmation. See the weak chase entrance, the wise wait calmly. Person either burst pipes or create king sharply. Now I move strategic like the shepherd with the stone. Gave me burst of giants every morning at the hope it unfold. In the wilderness, the promise still ahead. Every loss ain't destruction. Sometimes God rebuild the traitor instead. Jericho walls following my faith get loud. Used to trade emotional, now my spirit's stronger. Joshua rebuilding while they doubted every step. Now the pressure build diamonds every time I get them tested. Escaping Babylon,
I can live shade of fear.
market full of idols.
I just walk with vision clear.
Planting seeds of silence,
While they chase attention.
labor bring the harvest when you're moving intention. I seen traders worship poverty like a golden calf. Lose themselves chasing candles, moving way too fast. The wisdom worth more than silver and the gold. The disciplined mind worth more than what's inside your paw. Following up a lot harder when I say I had to break resistance. Sparking levels in the chains that kept affecting my decisions. Now to set a cleaner, spirit moving sharper. Every setback became fuel for moving smarter. They panic with the crowd when the headlines hit. The move they know a building while they left that. Discreparate and look foolish before the rain arrives. But survivors think different when they fighting to survive. Fast seasons feeling buried underneath the pressure. The seeds gotta die before they multiply forever. That's kingdom mathematics, that's the Lord's own reaper. Patient trader eat, non-emotional trader sleep. Yeah,
It's bigger than trading.
it's about mastering yourself.
Anybody can enter a trade.
You can conquer emotion.
Escape Babylon.
Cycle,
Move with wisdom,
build with faith.
smart action training.
They told us chase fast money,
Bad money,
worship greed,
love for trading,
panic with the crowd,
modern Babylon,
build on fear.
distraction and emotional slavery.
But discipline,
Patience,
wisdom,
wisdom,
that's how you escape the system.
smart action trading.
Yeah, Jericho walls falling when my faith get louder. Used to trade emotional, now my spirit's stronger. Joshua rebuilding while they doubted every step. Now the pressure build diamonds every time I get tested. Escaping Babylon,
I can live shade of fear.
market full of idols.
I just walk with vision clear.
Planting seeds of silence,
While they chase attention.
labor bring the harvest when you move with intention. Used to chase chase every candlelight and move of salvation. Lost inside the noise, trapped in desperation. Babylon system got the masses moving blind. Over leveraged souls getting swallowed by the grind. See the charts became mirrors showing pride and greed. Every red candle exposed what's inside of me. Had to crucify emotion, let discipline arise. Cause revenge trading kill quicker than a thief at night. Jericho standing tall like impossible resistance. But faith make walls go after consistent persistence. Joshua marching even when it made no sense. The patience in the rocket when you wait for confirmation. See the weak chase entrance, the wise wait calmly. Person either burst pipes or create kings sharply. Now I move strategic like the shepherd with the stone. Gave me burst of giants every morning at the open fold. In the wilderness, the promise still ahead. Every loss ain't destruction. Sometimes God rebuild a traitor instead. Jericho walls following my faith loud. Used to great emotional, now my spirit strong. Joshua rebuilding while they doubted every step. Now the pressure build diamonds every time I get them tested. Escaping Babylon, I can live, train to fear. Market full of idols, I just walk a vision king. Planting seeds of silence, while they chase attention. Labor bring the harvest when you're moving intention. I seen traders worship poverty like a golden calf. Losing themselves chasing candles, moving way too fast. The wisdom worth more than silver and the gold. The disciplined mind worth more than what's inside your palm. Follow you. Up a lot harder when I say I had to break resistance. Marking levels in the chains, I can't protect my decisions. Now they set a cleaner, spirit moving sharper. Every setback became fuel for moving smarter. They panic with the crowd when the headlines hit. I move like no one building while they left that hit. Discreparate and look foolish before the rain arrive. But survivors think different when they fighting to survive. Fast seasons feeling buried underneath the pressure. The seeds gotta die before they multiply forever. That's kingdom mathematics, that's the Lord's soul reaper. Patient trader eat, non-emotional trader sleep. Yeah, it's bigger than trading. It's about mastering yourself. Anybody can enter a trade. You can conquer emotion. Escape Babylon. The cycle. Move with wisdom. Build with faith. Smart action trading. They told us chase fast money, worship greed, panic with the crowd, Babylon, build on fear, distraction and emotional slavery. But discipline, patience, wisdom, that's how you escape the system. Smart action trading. Yeah, Jericho walls falling when my faith get louder. Used to trade emotional, now my spirit stronger. Joshua rebuilding while they doubted every step. Now the pressure build diamonds every time I get tested. Escaping Babylon, I can live, shade of fear. Market full of idols, I just walk with vision clear. Planting seeds of silence, while they chase attention. Labor bring the harvest when you move with intention. Used to chase every candlelight and move of salvation. Lost inside the noise, trapped in desperation. Babylon system got the masses moving blind. Over leveraged souls getting swallowed by the grind. See the charts became mirrors showing pride and greed. Every red candle exposed what's inside of me. Had to crucify emotion, let discipline arise. Cause revenge trading kill quicker than a thief at night. Jericho standing tall like impossible resistance. But faith make walls go after consistent persistence. Joshua marching even when it made no sense. The patience in the rocket when you wait for confirmation. See the weak chase entrance, the wise wait calmly. Person either burst pipes or create kings.
The information shared during this live stream is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. All trades, ideas, and strategies discussed are my personal opinions and are not recommendations to buy or sell any securities. Trading involves risk, and you should always do your own research and consult with a licensed financial professional before making any investment decisions. You are solely responsible for your own trading results.
Top of the morning, traders, and happy Friday, July 24th, and welcome to the most value packed live trading show, where we live trade, breakdown charts, give high impact events, and talk trader mindset. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend, a wonderful day yesterday, and is ready to kick off another opportunity-filled day. If you're a first-time viewer, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe. We're looking to gap down to open things up, second consecutive day of a gap down. Once the market does open up, guys, it is free trade, no gap down actually. It is Free Trade Friday today, so if you're looking to join us for the delay-free ad-free stream, all right, make sure to jump in the free tier Discord. You'll have access to that. 100 likes, we'll do the giveaway. 100 likes between now and 10:30, we will do a giveaway. Today's giveaway, I'll let you know what today's giveaway is going to be. I'll think about it, and then we'll once we get there, I'll let you know what the giveaway is for. All right, so we're officially open, guys. We're officially open. Happy Friday. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So no gap up, no gap down. No gap up, no gap down. Makes our job a little simpler. And we are trading below that PML though, trading below the PML, and SPY is starting to break this structure. See if there's some follow through behind this break. So far on the hourly, we are directional. Okay, we are directional on the hourly, barring some kind of major reversal candle. We're directional to the downside. Okay, so see if buyers could reclaim this territory. So first one's on the clock, our Shockwave 5 wave. Right out the gate, we're seeing Qs below PML. We're seeing SPY below PML, testing that territory. And we're seeing crude above that 90. Keep a close eye on that 90 level on crude and 19 level on the VIX. Keep a close eye on those two levels. We're seeing IWM starting to slide here. IWM is testing that dead upside breaker, prior day's high. So IW is the one that has the most amount of strength in relation to prior day's range. Okay, Apple right out the gate pushing. Apple pushing very aggressively. Apple pushing very aggressively. So the first one's on the clock. If you trade Shockwave 5, you're on the clock. You are on the clock. Good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. As you're coming in, smash the like button. Poll question for today. Poll question for today is market sentiment. Okay, what is your sentiment on SPY today? Bullish, bearish, neutral. Bullish, bearish, neutral. Bullish, bearish, neutral. Down goes Broadcom to PML. Down goes MU below PML. Down goes SK Hynix below PML. Down goes SNDK below PML. AMD holding up. Intel reported earnings below PML. ARM below PML. So once it gets to PML, the first thing you want to pay attention to, okay, before you go short, is can it hold below PML and it doesn't sweep PML? Because some of these names have a tendency to sweep that PML, trap those shorts, and go the other way. All right, so keep a close eye on that. So let it settle, let price settle in that territory. All right, and see what takes place after that. All right, so SPY comes into that pre-market low, 50% retrace. Starting to push here. Qs. Okay, now the difference today, guys, yesterday, the reason why it was a little cleaner is because we had agreement. Okay, we had agreement amongst all four. Today, there's no agreement. SPY is pushing. Okay, is at the highs of the day. Qs are bouncing off the lows of the day. Okay, small caps are headed towards the lows of the day, and the Dow, okay, is very close to that PML. All right, so there's no real agreement amongst the indexes. So the follow through behind breaks can be very tricky. Apple showing some signs of strength. Amazon, clean break on Amazon. So that can continue to the downside. That is on our watch. We discussed that, so keep a close eye on Amazon. Okay, Shockwave 5 coming into play here shortly. Shockwave 5 coming into play here shortly. Good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. Let's get to the YouTube chat here. Good morning, Paul Man. Good morning, Vanuz. Good morning, J1P. Thank you for supporting the channel. Good morning, 1036. Rich. Good morning, Sid Wards. Good morning, Fishman. Verse today, Philippians 4:16. But may God shall supply all your needs according to his riches in glory by Jesus Christ. Amen, amen, and amen. Good morning, George, and bless. Good morning, and God bless you, George, and your family, health, economy, and followers. I hope everyone decides to smash the like button on this blessed Friday. Amen, amen. Good morning to you too, Fishman. God bless you, your family, health, economy as well. God bless everyone's family, health, and economy as well. Let's take advantage of the best action today. Good morning, stay humble. Thank you for speaking life into the chat as well. The kind of people we're cultivating is amazing, guys. Continue to speak life. Life and death is at the power of the tongue. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Snipes. Good morning, SMC Queen. So some of the indexes we're seeing some disagreement. Small caps had the most amount of strength in relation to their levels in pre-market. What do? They get above that daily upside breaker. Okay, sweep those longs, and now they're pushing to the PML. So nice little trap above Friday's highs on small caps. All right, so Shockwave 5 is here. Okay. Amazon is showing some weakness. I'm gonna pull up the Amazon contracts. Amazon, keep it close. Keep in mind that these are zeros, guys. These are zeros. If you don't like zeros, if you're allergic to zeros, okay, go Monday or go Wednesday, or if you want Friday. All right, these are zeros. What that means is they expire the same day, so they have an increase in volatility, tremendous increase in volatility. So Amazon early candidate on watch. Apple actually looks good to the upside. SPY, okay, made highs of the day. Qs, okay, made highs, starting to fade. Small caps headed towards the lows of the day, and Dow bouncing off those lows. So you see the difference between today and yesterday. All right, so now if you understand market context, okay, you'll know why there's no signal yet. So I didn't give you a signal. But if you trade open and range first 5 minutes, okay, if you have maybe depending on where your stop is, you can possibly be stopped out. Maybe still in, but regardless, do you see there's a disagreement? Okay, and we're testing that view up as well. If everything starts to sell off, that's going to favor this breakdown on SPY to the downside. Exxon is out of here, guys. ExxonMobil is out of here. Anyone take Exxon? No gap. Thank you for the update, Elian. Good morning, guys. So yesterday was cleaner right off the open because we had some agreement. It looks like small caps continue to lead us, guys. Small caps continue to give us the read. Right? They just seem to be ahead of everything. They were above that daily upside breaker, no balance, traps, and then it started to dump here. Small caps are at that PML. So if you took that breakdown below that 293.60, okay, PML has been hit. ExxonMobil continues to push, so Exxon is a candidate to the upside. All right, ExxonMobil is a candidate to the upside. We're seeing the crude is above that 90. See if you can hold. I'm looking for separation, so Exxon potential candidate. As far as where the VIX is, guys, VIX is at 1880. All right, so it's creating a little bit of separation away from that 19 to the downside. So let's see if they have enough fuel now. All right, but this is a solo mission by SPY because Qs are headed to the downside. See, SPY can make a solo mission to 740. Okay, shockwave on the 5. See if it pans out. I have no horse in the race. Just watching. I'll wait until 45. If everything was in agreement, you can see here the confidence score, low confidence. All right, you can see the score is a 30% score. Although it gives you the signal, it gives you the score as well. All right, the reason why it's low confidence score is because the indexes are out of sync and what the VIX is doing. Okay, it doesn't mean it's not going to work, but it's just the probability, the chances of it working. Right, so always pay attention to the score. It's there to aid you. Okay, so in this case, shockwave 5 stopped out. If you took it despite the 31% score, stopped out. Qs continue to push the downside. Shockwave 5 on the Qs to the downside, possibly brewing. But what we want to see, guys, is some kind of agreement. Some kind of agreement amongst the indexes. If there's no agreement, we're going to see some chop. All right, we want to see separation away from the 19 on the VIX. Okay. So separation is going to be declared as the following. VIX below 1850. Okay, VIX above 1950. That'll be separation. If the indexes are all going to do their own thing, All right. In the meantime, we can see chop. If they're in agreement, okay, we'll see a little bit of follow through. Things will get a little better. But if they're not in agreement, we'll see some chop. We're seeing crude still above that 90. All of them are still below VWAP, with the Qs, with the small caps taking the biggest hit. Small caps are at PML. If that fails to hold, small caps have room to that 291.64. SPY is testing that PML. Pre-market low. Qs are below PML. All right, so we'll remain patient here. We'll remain patient. Let's get the likes up on YouTube, guys. 100 likes. We'll do the giveaway by 150 people joining us this morning. Allergic to zero. It's a real allergy, guys. It's a real allergy. You will have, if you're not used to trading zero DTEs, okay. Some of the reactions are holding too long, not taking profit, and not making the best decisions, okay. Beautiful job, Ellie, on those Apple calls. Good. Apple is showing some strength. So Apple has decided to do its own thing today. Qs continue to dump. You see, guys, conflict. Qs near the lows of the day, Dow near the highs of the day. Where does that put SPY? That puts SPY in a tricky spot, okay? We like to refer to that as rock in a hard place. All right, so in the meantime, the Qs are looking weak here. Qs are dumping here. Qs continue to dump. Okay, semis continue to dump. Mags are holding up, so the sell-off is taking place in the semis. Wow, look at MRVL. Look at ARM. Look at SK Hynix. Good night. MU, good night. Broadcom, good night. AMD, good night. Intel, good night. Intel really dragging everything. The only sector that's green so far, guys, is XLE, XLC. XLE and XLC are the only ones that are green. Everything else is dumping, or everything else is holding up. Okay. Keep in mind, we're already directional on the hourly. If you take a look at the right hand side of the chart, there's the hourly chart. The hourly candle broke those lows, is directional already. All right, so the selling pressure is there on the hourly. Small caps, nice bounce off that PML. 3 minutes away from shockwave 15. If we can stay below that level, okay, before we get into shockwave 15, guys, we do have yellow folder candles at 945. Be mindful of that. If we do get that breakdown via shockwave, I'm looking at the 737s, 738s, all right. Okay, Palantir, candidate to the downside. Amazon, candidate to the downside. Amazon, I will be looking at the 320, 230, 250s for the puts. Apple, potential candidate to the upside. Apple has some room to go. Apple, I'll be looking at the 327.50s. You can go in the money 325s or go further dated. So that's my watch list so far. Apple to the upside, Amazon to the downside, SPY to the downside. Now I'm just waiting for those triggers to take place. Q's also candidate to the downside, as well as Palantir. Meta also potential downside as well. So a lot of names. Okay, a lot of names. So the question becomes, does the sell-off in semis continue? Does that drag the Dow lower? If it does, SPY will start to continue to drop. Or do the semis get bought off those lows? That pushes the Qs back to that PML. Okay, the Dow tries to get above that VWAP. That can possibly make SPY pop. All right, so that's what the big ordeal is about. On the hourly, sellers are still present on the hourly. Sellers are present on the 15 as well, on SPY, on the Qs as well as small caps. Okay. you took a shockwave 5 here, all right, 30% confidence, you'd be stopped out. Shockwave 5 window is officially closed. Okay, now we're going to go to shockwave 15. Amazon is kind of selling off. I like Amazon structure on the higher time frame as well, right? It does have a structural breakdown brew on the higher time frame. So now Qs, can they take out those lows? Qs have a very tight window, okay, very narrow window to drop into. Keep a close eye on the Qs. Breakout on Apple brewing to the upside. I'm looking for the same type of entry model, guys. Reclaim that territory. Okay, so retrace. Okay, we're starting to see SPY go the other way. It's going to be predicated on what the Qs do. The Qs break below their lows? 688.50. If they do, opportunity there. We have Meta as well. Meta, between Meta, Amazon already broke those lows. I want to see some follow through. Apple breaking those highs. Let me pull up the Meta contracts. Meta's contract's a little elevated. All right, be mindful of the spreads on Meta. I might forego Meta due to the spreads. Okay, we got Apple going. Apple. Okay, manage accordingly on Apple. Manage accordingly on Apple. Qs broke those lows, so Apple has a tendency to go the opposite way. Okay, so manage accordingly. TP where need to on Apple. Apple, if it can come back and resurface, reclaim, I could potentially be there for Apple there, the 327.50s. Palantir also looking to break here to the downside. Be mindful of that weekly downside breaker. All right, what's going to be telling here on the Qs is if the semis break their lows as well. Semis break their lows, that's going to be great. Okay. Qs already broke those lows. Qs do have a little bit of space into that 687.80. Apple, there goes Apple. You need to bounce off the Qs off those lows. The Dow starting to get picked up here. SPY goes the other way, 741s. But we need the Qs to bounce off those lows. Okay, at least work its way to that PML. Okay, got a dead cat bounce on the Qs. We shall see. So you can see the difference, all right, from yesterday to today. Go watch yesterday's episode. Why was the action clean in relation to today? In comparison to today, I should say. Yes, because everything was in agreement. Okay, today they're not in agreement. A lot of fakes, a lot of traps on this Friday, so be careful, guys. Be careful, be careful, be careful. If you do decide to take it to the upside, that's about a 46% confidence. You have room into 740. Okay, what can really help in that case is if the Qs can start to work towards this territory here to support that break into 689.50. All right, that can possibly help it because the only thing pumping right now, guys, the only thing lifting up SPY is the Dow. All right, so the Dow is the only thing pumping. If the Qs continue to drop, that's going to possibly lead to a trap here. All right, so be mindful of that. Apple continues to rip and run. Apple is ripping and running. The Dow has the strength, primarily led by communication. Communications is strong, and energy is strong as well. Apple, TP1 hit on Apple. Congratulations. Apple, I'll wait for Apple. And if you took Apple, congratulations. That's the name right there. SPY is starting to go. Okay, SPY can get some follow through if the Qs can get above that level we just discussed. Okay, has room to 740 initially. We're starting to see the Qs bounce off those lows. Apple retest watch. We have Nvidia possibly breaking as well. Be mindful with Nvidia because Nvidia does have some resistance at that PMH. All right, Nvidia, sometimes it's hit or miss with Nvidia. All right, Nvidia breakout possibly brewing as well. Okay, see if that signal can last. All right, so we're gonna need the Q. We're gonna need the Qs to get above 690 for SPY to get some follow through. Qs above 690 for SPY to get some follow through, or else that can be a trap. Okay, you see that trap that we just discussed? Okay, you see that trap? How that trap played out? This is a trap. You see that trap? Okay, you see how they trapped that? They just trapped the buyers right over there because the Qs couldn't get that strength. They made the lows. All right, so if that trap has some legitimacy, get below daily open, everything starts to dump, I can exist on this side because now SPY, Qs, and small caps are in agreement. We just need the Dow to start to fade, get below VWAP. All right, so you can see shockwave, no signal there, no signal printed. Okay, semis falling off a cliff, memory falling off a cliff as well. Qs continue to drop, small caps, all right, small caps also brewing guys to the downside. Keep a close eye on that, my IWM snipers. I'm keeping a close eye on SPY. All right, SPY, 737 puts. 737 puts. Okay, if we can get some follow through. Palantir puts as well, guys. If you take Palantir puts, manage accordingly. There goes SPY. Very vicious, guys. Vicious traps. That was vicious. That was vicious. All right. So we just talked about be mindful and pay close attention to that trap. Okay, they will trap you if you don't understand synchronized buying, synchronized selling, and rock in a hard place. SPY, give me one little push to the upside. Give me one little push, one little push. If you took the break with confidence, all right, with momentum, manage accordingly. If you take the ripple, okay, I want a nice little. If you take the initial ripple. Okay, you can scale out. I'm looking for the retest. Q's falling off a cliff. There's potential retest brewing on IWM as well. Okay, look at that weakness. Look at that trap. That was a nasty, nasty trap. We have ExxonMobil brewing as well. Look at the VIX. Where's the VIX? Where's the VIX? VIX is headed back towards that 19. We need that break past 19 for this to get some follow through on SPY. Now all the indexes are starting to get on the same page. If you did take that breakdown, manage accordingly. Palantir falling off a cliff. Nice drop on Palantir as well. Qs. Okay, see profit, take profit, guys. If you took Apple, whatever you took. So what I'm looking for is, okay, get a relief pop. Weakness, back lower. All right, if you took that break, you're done for the day. And that's a compound break too. Look at Nvidia. Nvidia falling off a cliff. Small caps falling off a cliff. Retrace reject on IWM as well. How we doing, team? Who's there for that? IWM 291s. See if we can pull in a little more. Give one more little push on IW. TP1 hit on SPY. All right. So the main thing is, all right, to avoid this trap up here. Even say if you took the calls there. All right. If you have your stop loss in place, you're okay. If you don't, you're wiped out. That's an aggressive drop. All right. That's the reality of the situation. How we doing, strikers? How are we doing? And plus, there's no signal on shockwave. Okay. Apple went. Exxon preparing to go. Exxon, I'm looking at the... Oh, Exxon, be mindful of the spreads on Exxon, guys. Be mindful of the spreads on Exxon. Who took that? Meta, starting to break down. Palantir falling off a cliff. How we doing? Nvidia falling off a cliff. So a lot of opportunities to the downside on the other side of patience. Okay, beautiful job, guys. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Good, good, good. My strike, especially my my waivers, all right? The ones who have shockwave. If you're looking at the right tickers and that breakdown came into play, okay, that's your opportunity to strike. That is your opportunity to strike. Don't chase. That's your opportunity to strike. Meta for potential retest. Meta for potential retest. Tesla falling off a cliff. Beautiful job, Turbo. 80% on Tesla. Good, good, good. There's a massive volume drop as well. Okay, that drop was massive, massive, massive. Scale out on the Qs. TP1 hit on the Qs. TP1 hit on SPY. All right, so the hourly, still some selling pressure. So this morning with our team, we discussed the importance of paying attention to a couple of things. All right, here. Do we have enough to reclaim, or is it just a retrace, reject, structural breakdown? Right. Always makes sense after the fact. Okay, after the fact, everything makes sense. You can only connect the dots when looking back. That's why hindsight is dangerous. Okay, hindsight will lead you to believe everything is easy. Okay. So I'm here. I'm in this camp up here. How we doing, team? Beautiful job, Dan. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. If you took Apple, Apple was a tell. Apple got that break initially first, and then the Q showed the weakness. All right. And then small caps joined, and the Dow still holding up. How we doing on YouTube, guys? How we doing on YouTube? We're at 50 likes right now. 50 more likes, we'll do a giveaway. 50 more likes, we'll lock in a giveaway. So make sure to like the video if you caught that. Good, good, good. Yeah, Tesla falling off a cliff. Yeah, Tesla. Yeah, Tesla TP, guys. Once everything started to crumble, okay, TP. When there's profit to be realized, make sure to realize the profit, okay? It's not, unless it's realized, it doesn't count. Nice breakdown on Tesla as well. Okay, we're starting to see some buyers step back in. I'll go on the double dip on SPY. The hourly is still weak, so they're still selling on the hourly. So all these buy ups are just okay. Buyers trying to get the dip buy. Nothing structurally shifting movement quite yet. We're slamming into some of the shorter EMAs here. Okay, so be mindful of that. My EMA rejection traders. Okay, flag traders. Keep a close eye there. See if not Netflix. See if speaking of Netflix going the other way. Meta breakdown possibly brewing. Break back lower. if we catch a second leg. Okay. See if that leads us to the lows of the day. At 5 is still weak. 15 is still weak, guys. Still some selling pressure on the 15s, on the respective 5s. No signs of reversal yet. Buyers are trying. Too much selling pressure here. Okay, too much selling pressure. There goes Meta. But avoid trying to catch these lows into lower lows. You're gonna have to fade the pops. You're gonna have to fade the pops. We did get new home sales. We did get some PMI data, so be mindful of that. We have a new top of the hour hourly candle. Look at that flip of that candle. Look at this, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Look how egregious that is. Okay. Sweep these lows, trap those shorts, drag them to the upside. I'm looking at these SPY puts. If it continues to push, all right, for that retrace reject, the way I'm going to approach it is, all right, I'll allow it to reclaim it, but I want it to fall back under it. Okay, so strict on the fall back under. Okay. So this gave you TP1, team. So what more do we want? TP1 was hit. NVIDIA retesting. If you're waiting for a small cap double dip, you gotta continue to wait. Who's done for the day? Who's done for the day? Who's done for the day? Okay, if you're done for the day, congratulations. Beautiful job on Apple. 133%. Was it off the 5-minute break? Poodle. Beautiful job on Tesla. Civ. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous setup there. So I can't wait to release Shockwave 5. Okay, so now, if it starts to fade back under, we are seeing some buyers stepping on the 5. Okay. They're trying to shift the 15. The hourly is trying to be shifted, but if it starts to fade back under, I'll take the puts. Okay, I'll take the puts right there on that candle's weakness. My risk is, of course, up there, very close to VWAP. If you did take this, manage accordingly. Up 10. TP where you need to. Up 12, 14. I'm going to take a majority off right there at 17%, 15%. Down to runners. Holding runners until low of day. There we go. Okay, TP where you need to, guys. They're up 15 and less than 60 seconds. Okay, less than 60 seconds. I'm going to have my stop at this level here. So I want no close above that territory. So basically very close to break even. Already a 15% extraction on that rejection. Okay, if it continues to push, then I'll exit these runners. All right. If it continues to push and close above that level, I'll exit. So very close to break even on the stop. Okay, I'll exit right there. All right. Stop down on runners right there. Very close to break even. Okay, so quick. It can continue to push lower, but I don't want to sit through the back and forth because we are seeing some aggressive buyers step in. All right, so a quick 15%. If you want to hold through that, you got to stick to the risk, by all means. But I'll take my quick 15 and get stopped out on those runners. All right, but it can, if the Qs continue to show weakness, all right, this can go to lows of the day. Who took that? So if you're waiting for the retrace reject, there you go. Okay, so whether you took it here, you have shockwave. Whether you took it here, Okay, whether you missed it, there's no reason for you to get the puts all the way here. Okay, you don't need to be getting the puts here. You need to fade the pop. Okay, you need to fade the pop. All right, so that setup right there should garner upwards of 50, anywhere minimum 15%. So if you did take that, manage accordingly. TP where you need to. If we get another leg lower, I'm keeping a close eye on those Amazon puts. Apple, nice flag on Apple on the 5. Okay, so it's a whipsaw action here. So the buyers are not going down easy here. They're not going down easy. Okay, so that trade was less than 60 seconds. Less than 60 seconds. Okay, so we are seeing some buying on the 5. Okay, it's going to come down to this. All right, it's going to come down to can the buyers reclaim this territory? If they can't reclaim this, okay, we're going to move lower. Okay, the buyers have to tightrope on this trend line and use this trend line. Use this structure to get above this zone, to get above the VWAP, to get above the PMH. You see how difficult it is for them to do that? Right? So who has more work ahead of them? All right? Look how much lifting the buyers need to do. Can they do it? If there's enough volume, if there's enough participation, sure. Right? They have a taller task ahead of them than the sellers. Okay, because if they don't start to step up here, if we start to put some pressure on the support, another leg lower. Okay, small caps, lows of the day. So look out for the flag on SMH as well. Be on flag watch. And the fact that Apple continues to rip, that's a good sign. Exxon Mobil starting to go here, guys. All right, Exxon Mobil starting to go. Be mindful of Exxon and that 90 on crude. PLTR, also a candidate if we break down one more time. Amazon, fresh break brewing on Amazon, but we need a breakdown. 9 EMA test on the Q's brewing, 9 EMA test currently underway on SPY as well. For me to double dip once again on SPY, I want to see a reclaim, recapture, and then fall back under. Okay, go test the VWAP, reject off the VWAP, and when it starts to slide, I'll take SPY again. All right. We got a fresh break brewing on taking place on Amazon. Amazon's starting to break down. All right, just be mindful. You want SPY to start to slide. We have some hourly buyers as well. This hourly candle is still young. Okay, the hourly candle still has 51 minutes left, so it's still a lot of time. Again, guys, take a minute. We're 45 minutes away from being eligible for a giveaway. If you're a first-time viewer, let us know where you're joining from. Long-time viewers, take the next steps. Join our community. You have access to all the tools, resources you need, along with the delay-free, ad-free stream. Folks on YouTube, keep in mind that there is a delay. All right, there is a delay. So buyers stepping up. Hourly, 5-minute, 15-minute, some buyers there. So they reclaim that territory. So unless we fall back under, I have no interest in that. Fall back under. Okay. Q's going to test that 9. Q's going to test that initial breaker. Small caps also pushing. The Dow breaking the highs of the day. So look at this. What does this look like? What pattern does this look like to you guys? Starts with a C. Okay, starts with a C. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Qs, testing that daily downside breaker. Testing that 90 man on the Qs. So if the buyers want to flip this candle completely, this hourly candle, and go 3 up, engulf this candle, okay, engulf all that selling pressure, 739.86 is the key. Or 739.88. Highs the day is the key. If that can take place on the cup and handle, guess where the landing spot for the handle is going to be? Okay, right here is the handle in this zone. Qs are starting to reject off that 9. Qs are starting to slow down. Nice break on Exxon if you took that for a scalp. Good, good, good. See profit, take profit. Cup and handle. Absolutely. Apple, complete runaway, guys. Apple is just a complete runaway. Just a massive breakout on Apple. Okay, let's get the likes up. Make sure to like the video. Let's get the likes up. Cup and handle. Yep, cup and handle, cup and handle, cup and handle. Good, good, good. So if you're trading a cup and handle, what needs to take place? Okay, what needs to take place for the handle to form? What other pattern needs to take place for the handle to form? All right, so it's basically you need the double top to take place and then come to a point where it stops, forming that handle. Put some pressure on that handle's range and then break. So you need a double top to take place. Okay. So if this thing, if there is no double top, if it just goes, cup and handle is no longer there. Okay. In the event that we do fall back below shockwave, okay, I'll be there for it. That would mean that we fall back under VWAP. That would be great. And we can use this zone as our wall. Nice break on Amazon. Nice break on Meta. Meta moves, guys, but Meta's gonna give you a hard time. All right, Meta's gonna play with your feelings a few times before it gives you the move. Okay, most of the time. Palantir, double dip there. SPY, look at the SPY puts, same contracts, look at the same trade. Okay, first one, of course, we extract the profits very quickly. Double digits in less than 1 minute. And then it was a scalp, all right. And then stopped out on the runners. We got Palantir breaking down. Okay, for these breakdowns to go to the lows of the day, we need SPY to break back under VWAP. Okay, Qs are still struggling here. Okay, Qs are not fully. They haven't fully recovered. They did bounce off those lows. 15-minute candles looking good. Small caps testing going to VWAP. Qs are on the verge of mounting a 5-minute continuation after reversing. Right, but they still have their work cut out for them. Okay, SPY is starting to go the other way. If you're waiting for the handle, you want this double top to come into play. Come back to this territory, bounce off of it. Qs starting to go, guys. Small caps just recaptured VWAP. See if they can stay above it. See if there's a hold. Engulfing candle on the hourly. Engulfing candle on the hourly. Just like that. You don't take profit, the market will. Look at this bright green candle to the right of you. Okay. Qs are still below VWAP, so Qs are. What's going to take SPY over the top is if Qs can break above VWAP. All right. And SPY's first challenge gave me 740. Okay, so now I got that double top. Now let's see if we're going to do one of these maneuvers for the handle. Okay, within this zone. All right. Yep, VIX falling off a cliff. That's good. We know what that means. We know what that means. VIX is below 1850. That's good. We know what that means. The door is opening up for the bulls. Crude is below 1990. So when you're using the VIX, you're not using it just to go long or short anywhere. Okay, that's not the way it works. Okay, they trap some more buyers. This is vicious, guys. They keep trapping these buyers. They're being very cruel to buyers. The only ones getting away from it is the ones who are buying the bottom. So I do have a setup waiting for me here. If we break back below this territory, fall back under VWAP, 737s, I'll be there. Look at the Qs, guys. Qs are starting to push back lower. Qs are getting reversed back to downside. Okay. VWAP test coming in. If VWAP in this key zone can't hold, if this can't hold as support, we're going to put some pressure on this trend line here. If that starts to crack, that opens up the door for this. And that's where I'll be in. Okay. Look at Exxon. We took Exxon. If you took Exxon, congratulations. All right, Qs. If you took double dip on small caps, congratulations. Go, 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 SPY. Qs are very close to the lows of the day. There goes Meta. Look at that hourly candle. Look at the selling pressure on that hourly candle. Wow. That's a nasty trap, team. Go, 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 SPY. Break those lows. Okay, so you can break those lows. Get one little bounce to reduce the value of those contracts a little bit. If you took that already, manage accordingly. Meta. So you go one little push lower. See if you can hold. Didn't take it yet. Qs, we need the Qs to go to the floor. The floor being the lows of the day. So I'm looking for just one more little drop. If you get one more little drop, I'll take it. One little drop, go back and test that VWAP, and then let that test go south. I'll be in the 737s. Okay, I'm taking the puts right there on SPY. Risk is conservative. I want everything to continue to fall. Manage accordingly if you did take that. Okay. Let's go, SPY. So same setup, different entry model. If you need to TP, my stop is going to be conservative, per usual. Targeting TP1. Okay, TP where you need to, guys. Up 15, up 17. I'm going to take a majority off right there at 17. Down to runners. You don't got to tell me twice. Okay. Holding runners. I want the Qs to stay below the low of the day. See, the runners can continue to push. I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier. Break even on runners. Okay, I'll close runners right there. I break even. They continue to push lower, but I don't want to give back too much on the runners. Okay, so another 17%. Another double-digit extraction on that slide, and runners stopped out very close to break even. Okay, so again, I want to see the follow through all the way into these lows, right? I want to see that. Okay, but I wanted the Qs to stay below the lows of the day. And we're quickly getting bought off those lows, and that's going to lead to a nice little push. So both trades, guys, less than 60 seconds. Okay. All right. So if the Qs can make lower lows here on this 5-minute candle, all right, you can possibly see a push into the lows of the day. All right, just manage accordingly, guys. Okay, manage accordingly. But I have no horse in race now. Okay, took my profits and ran. Okay, there are some stubborn buyers, guys. Qs potential double bottom off those lows. If you can give me 17, 15, 13, 12 double digits in under a minute, all right, I'm taking that off the table. You don't got to tell me twice. All right, you see how we're starting to pick up some, we're starting to get, sometimes you start to get your groove late into the week. It takes a little bit of time to get adjusted to the action. All right. So if it goes back to the upside, again, structurally, we did break this trend line, but we did not knock out these lows. Okay. We did not knock out those lows. So both trades, both scalps, both using the same thing. If you took Exxon, if you took Apple, those are the two biggest movers. Okay, so far, that selling got absorbed. We're still inside. Let me show you the Qs real quick. Well, what it gave me confidence to hold those runners through, right, I had a very tight leash on them, is I wanted the Qs. I want to shift your attention to this real quick. Okay, here's the Qs here. Okay, divergence between SPY and the Qs. All right, as SPY broke those lows, start to break down, Qs broke below the lows of the day. Okay, 695. All right. If the Qs could have went past the 695, more than likely that can drag SPY into the next target. The fact that the Qs bounced off that 695, bounced off the lows of the day, that created divergence. And then now as they're bouncing, it's going to lift up SPY and possibly push it back to VWAP, but back into VWAP. Okay, so that's what I was paying attention to. Yeah, that's the kind of depending on if it just like depending on how quickly you click the button this week, right, determines if you're it can be the same setup. It determines if you walk away with green or if you get stopped out. All right, so execution and entry and exit. So the 3 E's, okay. Entry, exit, execution. That's what makes the difference today. Entry, exit, and execution. Those 3 E's are the biggest determinant factor this week. It's not even about being right. Okay, you can be right on the chart. You can be right on the time. But if any of those 3 E's are off, okay, you can be wrong, okay, from the win or lose trade outcome standpoint. All right, so it's been a very, very tricky week to say the least. All right, so we're 7 minutes away from the conclusion of first shift. Who's done for the day, guys? If you're done for the day, if you're closing on your first green week, let us know. I want to congratulate you. Okay, this week I got the hourly. Okay, our first, see if that signal can print. What I mean by signal print means that signal stays on the chart. Candle closes, signal stays on the chart. When you start to see the signal flash, all right, that's just early sign, but it's not fully confirmed. And this go around, as we approach that territory, our score is 51. Okay, our score is 51. Okay, so let's take off the shockwave 15, and we're going to go with shockwave 60. All right. We already got paid with Shockwave 15. Shockwave 5 paid on Apple. And Shockwave 60 was coming up next. And if you took Exxon, okay, congratulations. If you took profits on Meta is very tough, okay. Meta's not easy. Shockwave 60 is coming up. Look at this, guys. They keep trapping the buyers. All right, so look at this. How many traders take this once again? Right, so you have to know what to take, what not to take. Okay, execution, your entry, exit, execution will put to the test this week. And make sure you listen to what the market is telling you. What I mean by that is the market is giving you feedback. Okay? So if something is not working, if something is off, you struggled this week, that's the market saying, hey, you know what? This element, this component of your game needs to be sharpened. All right, so make sure you're allowing those losses to become lessons. Okay, if you allow the losses to become lessons, okay, then you can leverage them. Make the losses count. Make each loss count. If that makes sense. Don't make use of any loss. Is essentially what I'm trying to say. All right, we're relatively still chopping around, guys. We're relatively still chopping around. We're flagging on the small caps. 2 trades. We'll probably take one more trade, and we'll be done for the week. Bumpy start to the week. Okay, first couple of days. All right, not as quick with the TPs. Couple of stop outs, and last 3 days, able to finish out strong. All right, that's why you have to always think of the week, guys. Always think of the week. Always think of the bigger picture. Shockwave 60 coming into play. First shift will come to an end in 3 minutes. We are 44 likes away from the giveaway. So if you haven't already, guys, make sure to like the video. Let's get the likes up. And we're closing in on 5,900 subs. So if you haven't subscribed, more than 69% of people who tune in every single day are not subscribed. The average viewer, guys, watches an astonishing 39 minutes. All right, so you're dedicating a significant amount of time per episode. Okay, so make sure you're subscribed. 39 minutes average watch time out of your 24. That's huge. Okay, that is a big chunk that you're dedicating towards learning, towards getting better. But make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and don't be a freeloader. Okay? How we doing, strikers? How we doing, guys? Who's done for the week? Who can't wait to wrap up this week? Amazon breaking down here. Only took forever. But if you stayed patient, Amazon. Okay. Maybe second shift has a cleaner setup. And look at Amazon. Just patience, 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 patience. Okay, even if you took it there on that put signal, you didn't get stopped out. You sat through some drawdown. You took it there. Okay. See profit, take profit. Compression breaks brewing on small caps. Compression breaks brewing on Qs. Potentially looking to take one more trade. Okay, if you're up so far, guys, I would recommend shutting it down. All right, it shut it down for the week. Breakdown brewing on Palantir as well. Can third time be the charm? Okay, Shockwave 60 is here. Let me turn off Shockwave 15. So Shockwave 60, the rule is you have to use 1 DTEs. I mean, you can use whatever you like, but to give yourself the best chance, where's my table? Okay. Shockwave 60 is here. Okay, Shockwave 60 is here. Coming to my table. I did create, okay, a landing page for you guys to navigate Shockwave if you're new. We'll go over that. So make sure to check that out, guys. So that landing page will explain to you what each feature is. The white papers are there. Okay. Everything you need is there. Okay, let me find that real quick. Give me 1 second. In the meantime, let's take a listen to our friends at CNBC. It's a commercial break, so we're not going to listen to them now. All right. They have some interesting commercials. By their commercials, you can tell what kind of demographic they're targeting. Okay. And with that being said, let us know you did in first shift. First shift took 2 trades, 2 scalps, both worked in our favor. The MVP of first shift is Apple and Exxon. Apple and Exxon, everything else scalps. That's what we've been seeing so far, team. Okay, this is the condition so far. Okay. Now 69 monthly is the same as the yearly, but just paid. Yeah, the yearly you save. You say you pay for 8 months, so you get 4 months free. So if you do 69 times 12, the yearly should be 826. But the yearly is, you say 4 months, but the yearly is 69 times 8. Right, in that area, in that territory. So there's, you save big when you get the yearly. How we doing, strikers? First shift is in the books. How did we do? Let me pull up the page here real quick.
To become $500 trillion.
I might have to log into my email, so I might have to shut screens down temporarily. So let me see. All right, let me see. But if you do have Shockwave, make sure to check out the landing page. If you are jumping into the Discord, all right, I've implemented a new onboarding process, all right, to simplify things so you can find things easier, all right, and get you started into our ecosystem very quickly. All right, so give me 1 second here. So Shockwave 60 highs, 739.95, 737.33. Chop, chop, chop. Apple continues to go. A potential retest brewing on Amazon, and a potential breakdown brewing on Palantir for the double dip.
As you move AI from training to inferencing, which is happening right now, memory is a bigger bottleneck in inferencing than it was in training. So we think the supply and demand imbalance gets bigger, which means these stocks all are going to prove to be much more durable. And to the extent investors can believe that more, you'll see these multiples keep grinding higher.
You think that this sort of, I guess it's been a bit of fear. We've heard it from names like IBM and Starbucks, but this notion of having to have on-premises infrastructure, buying more hardware, less software, kind of reinvigorates what, the Dell and the Cisco trade?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I actually think to some degree what you're seeing right now is the decommoditization of the IT hardware stack, the networking stack, right? It is a lot cheaper, I think, for enterprises to run open source models on-prem versus using frontier models for everything. And to the extent companies start doing that, they have to repatriate data back on-premise, which means they have to buy compute, storage, networking, all that stuff. You've certainly seen Cisco, Dell re-rate on this narrative. We think storage is going to be next as a sector that will re-rate off this.
Ahmed, I'm sure you get this from clients, but everyone has a mental model in mind of when, the once boring network equipment suppliers become the exciting plays, and the companies paying them the money maybe lose their edge. It feels a little bit like, the internet build-out boom, the broadband situation when it comes to Nortel and Lucid and all the rest. So how is it different? Is it different just in terms of what phase we're in of that process?
Yeah, it's a worry I have, in fairness, for having watched Cisco hit the peak in the late 90s, right? What I'll say is there are a couple of things that are different fundamentally here. One is this boom so far is more driven by cash and equity versus debt infused. This is less about build and they'll come. This is, no, we need to build it because people are already coming here. And at a very high level, it's as simple as IT has gone from being a cost center historically to becoming a place for you to generate ROI and better labor savings and productivity over time. And so I think there's a bunch of things that are different. But at the very highest level, I'll tell you, I think you're in the very, very early stages of...
Screens run down. I had to log into my email. That's why the screens went down. Okay, I'll show you the new... Okay, we're back. Okay. So SPY breaking down once again. Shockwave 15 coming into play. Maybe lows the day are coming here. SPY Qs continue to push below that 690, 685. Small caps lows the day. See they can drag SPY lower. Okay, if you took that via Shockwave, manage accordingly. So here's the guide, guys. Okay, here's the guide for Shockwave. All right. This is now posted. Okay, you can find that in WAP. All right, you can find that in WAP. I'll also drop the link for you right here. All right, this is the new Shockwave hub for the people who do purchase. All right, first thing you need to do is locate your username, send me your email, okay, with your receipt. Here is the white papers and a setup guide. All right, you can read through it. It explains to you how everything works. Okay, you can download it, and here's the past webinars. All right, that's all available to you. Okay, so that's one place where you can find everything. So locate, email me your username along with your purchase receipt, and you wait for access. And it takes 24 hours to get you the access. All right, so one place where you can get all that done and simplify the onboarding. All right, so people who are looking for the webinars, also those past webinars are there on that page as well. Okay, the past webinars are also there, and all the webinars will be posted there eventually. All right, the main thing is make sure if you have Shockwave, make sure to download the white paper and the setup guide. It walks you through the different functionalities. Okay. Hourly candle starting, all that buying on the hourly starting to get absorbed. We're back below VWAP. If SPY really starts to break down, if the Dow starts to break down, keep a close eye on Palantir for the breakdown, and for Amazon failure to reclaim failure. SPY continues to chop around. Chop, chop, chop. Has the VIX created separation area from 19? It did for some time. That's what we drew. That's what we pushed. Now it's headed back towards 19. Okay. And if you are joining our Discord here, guys, make sure to go through the onboarding process as well. It's a seamless onboarding process. All right, it's been put into place. Okay, there's a few steps. I know some of you don't know how to navigate Discord. Whenever you guys do join, you ask me, hey, how do I access this? How do I access that? So it's literally a 10-minute onboarding process. Less than 10 minutes, you can get all that done. All right, so once you do join, you'll be sent to here. Okay, you'll be sent to here. You start your onboarding. All right, watch the welcome video. Okay, you mark it as complete. You watch the how to access the community. You mark it as complete. There's a link, and then once you do that, you claim access. You sign to the Discord, and you learn how to navigate the Discord. You mark that as complete, and that's simple. So 3 videos you can watch that get you up to speed. All right. So 9 a.m. Eastern, we have the pre-market prep. We have live trading at 9:30, and then we have, of course, the trade review at the end of the day. Okay. All right, so if you did join, make sure to copy this and drop an intro in the Discord. And it's a very seamless onboarding process. All right, so I want to make sure that everyone that's coming in, sometimes I take it for granted and think everyone knows how things work, right? But I want to get everyone up to speed. Okay, so the goal now is to ensure that everyone takes the course as well. Okay, you take the course as you come in so you can be up to speed on the education as well. All right, because the primary focus is to get you educated so you understand these concepts for yourself, understand these setups for yourself, and you can take these trades. Nice rejection on Amazon there. Nice rejection there on Amazon. See, there's some follow through. Stay below that daily downside breaker. SPY continues to chop around. All right, so make sure if you're looking to join, use the code trial30. If we're at 100 likes between now and 11 o'clock, we will do the giveaway. We will do the giveaway. Okay, if you join us $69, welcome, welcome, welcome. We'll go through the onboarding process, and you'll be ready to join us for live trading tomorrow. You can even jump in right now and access the delay-free ad-free stream. Okay, all that's there. So this breakdown took place, but look how long it took to take place, okay? So they're not giving you things on the first go. All right. Now look at all that selling pressure that came in when that buying pressure stepped in. That engulfing candle now just got, that completely got absorbed. That's why waiting for candle closure is critical. Okay. And that shockwave 60 is coming into play here. Okay, Q's trying to bounce off those lows. Done for the week. Have a great weekend, you two. Joe P, tremendous job, guys. 30%, beautiful. I think the trade of the day belongs to Pudo. Look at that, guys. One contract. All right, so one contract. Okay, you can make a lot. You can do a lot of damage with one contract. Right, especially if you're working full time already, if you're already busy, you don't need to be heavy on the capital when you begin. Okay. We have a motto, right? You want to meet your wage before you beat your wage. Meet your wage on that particular hour. Whether you make $100 an hour, whether you make $50 an hour, $15 an hour, it doesn't matter what your wage is. Right? Doesn't really matter. But during that hour, your objective should be to meet your wage in the beginning. Okay, meet the wage. All right, say for instance you make $25 an hour. All right, that's how you're gonna start. That's how you're gonna start, and you start treating this as something where okay, it's tangible. And when you do that enough times, if you trade 2 hours, if you trade 1 hour, then you start to beat your wage. Now instead of trying to make 25, you try to make 50. You have to do these small you have to play these psychological games with yourself and just compare yourself to yourself, right? And run your own race. And then now you're on a double, 2x your wage in that particular hour. If you're trading for 2 hours, you're in 2 hours. Think of yourself as an independent contractor. You're an independent contractor, and you are hired to trade your account. Your skill set is technical analysis and risk management, knowing when to deploy capital, and taking profit. That's your skill set. And then now, you do your work. And when you start to do these things, it starts to build your confidence over time. So now when you start sizing up naturally, okay, you earn the right to size up gradually. Okay, you're going to be more confident to do it because you've proven it to yourself, not to anyone else. I promise you're not going to be comfortable if you size up just out of the blue. It's going to be the same setup. It's going to be the same setup, but now you sized up, you're going to feel completely different because you didn't earn the size up. All right, so you want to gradually work your way there. And it doesn't matter where you start. You can start at one contract. That's why those things in our community don't really matter. That's not the emphasis. The emphasis is the process. Okay, it doesn't matter where you start. What matters is you started and you're running the race. That's what matters. Because there's going to be a lot of people that talk about the race and how fast they can run the race, but never ran. That's why I love that Theodore Roosevelt quote, "The man in the arena." That's one of my favorite quotes. Okay, so when you're trading, you are the one in the arena. Don't forget. All right, same thing. So you have to take it in stride. Because when you blow your account, if you blow your account, okay, you have to swallow that pill. When you double your account, you have to swallow that pill. And that's the ultimate, to me, that's the ultimate form of freedom. Okay, you have the most amount of, that's as much control as you get. You dictate the terms. You can't dictate what the market does, of course, but you dictate what you do based on what the market does. And it's infinitely scalable. All right, so if you continue to take it in stride, if you continue to apply these principles, and if you continue to play that psychological game, it's like when you're running long distance, you're just looking for small landmarkers that are ahead of you, and you're trying to get to those markers. You're not thinking of the entire distance. You're not thinking of, trading 100 contracts. When you're starting, you're not nowhere near thinking of trading 100 contracts. Your only thinking is, let me get started. Let me trade with 1 contract, 3 contracts, 5 contracts, whatever, wherever you are, and use those little landmarkers to keep yourself going, and start slowly scaling up, building the confidence, learning all those lessons. Because if you just jump in and start to trade 100 contracts and you have no idea what you're doing, you will get wiped out. Even if you get lucky, all right, the market will somehow, some way take it back on the other side. All right, so everything you get is basically what you put in. It always balances out. Okay, it always balances out. That spot continues to chop around. 102% on Tesla puts down for the day. Beautiful job, SMC Queen. Let's take a look at Tesla. There we go. Did Tesla come on? Yep. Even if you took Shockwave 60 here, guys. Shockwave 60 came in at 1030. Okay, boom, breaks down. If you took it during the first 5 minutes. Let's go first 5 minutes. Shockwave 5 puts, you have the entry all the way here. If you waited for the 15, you have your entry all the way there. If you waited for the 30, your entry's right there. So that tells you Tesla is just completely collapsing. All right, another retrace right there on Tesla. So I can't wait to put the final touches on all these shockwaves. All right, 5, 30, 60, and Lotto, and make them available. So tremendous job, SMC Queen. So it gives you a diversified approach, right? A diversified approach. and you'll have all of them at your all of them at your disposal. First shift down 25, 1 meta put, 8 my profit. Yeah, that put right there couldn't go all the way to the target, came into scale out, but meta sometimes just is known to make you sweat. I believe it was this week I think it was last week, maybe the tail end of the week, where we caught a monster meta trade after getting stopped out. So we got stopped out very quickly, and then re-engaged, and that thing just completely fell off a cliff. I think it was last week. That's Meta's personality. What you start to realize is some of these individual names, they have unique personalities. Okay. So hourly still got all the way down here and got pushed back up with that double top. So let's see if the 60 breaks. Okay. So this came to fruition very close to the lows of the day. And then now which way are we going? Are we going up, down, or sideways? Are we traveling, okay, up and to the right, down to the right, or are we moving horizontally over time? So far. NVIDIA taking out those highs so you can get that break on NVIDIA. Again, it's going to come down to can the Qs reclaim VWAP. Be mindful that 740 cycle level right there. Qs have 2 minutes left to close out that top of the hour candle. On the bottom of the hour candle for the Qs, for SPY I should say. Okay, they're already directional. Alright, so this top of the hour candle takes into consideration the pre-market candle as well. Can we finally get a break? See if we can get a signal here, shockwave, okay. Confidence about a 60% confidence. See if that signal can print. There's going to be how many tops? 1, 2, 3, quadruple top. Can we finally break this quadruple top? Hourly looks good. Respective 15s are reversing. 5s are continuing. And what's going to really need to occur here for SPY to continue to push above that 740 is the Qs get above VWAP. And that's 687.60. And we can do that. SPY has room to 740.81. Okay. %, Apple calls. Congratulations. 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 There we go. Shockwave 60. Look at the Qs. Okay, look at that. Confidence 71. So if you already took that, manage accordingly. Okay, we do have a little bit of friction up here when that key's on. All right. Now you need the Qs to hold above VWAP. If the Qs can hold above VWAP, SPY might have a chance to get into this zone and break past it. Okay, Qs hold above VWAP. Small caps testing VWAP. If you took this break already, okay, you're already up about 71 cents. All right, so that's more than getting very close to, if you're taking the 1DTs, getting very close to double digits. So you want the Qs to hold above VWAP. So this is Shockwave 60. That Shockwave 60 also coincides with 15. Those highs very closely. New hourly candle here. It's officially 11 o'clock. Okay, so in this case, you want the Qs. You're paying attention to here, guys. The VWAP on the Qs. If the Qs can create separation away from the VWAP to the upside, SPY is going to get into this territory here. Okay, there you go. All right. So that's what you're paying attention to primarily. Qs are reclaiming prior day's lows, and they're in prior day's range. So you want the Qs to continue on that 5-minute candle, knock out those highs, and continue to push. Okay, Qs are breaking those highs. All right, so here we go. Shockwave 60 already getting the job done. You take it to scale out, that's 1R. More than 1R in this case. Okay. So the question becomes, what is the cost? What is the cost to each trader for catching a trade like this? Right? What does it cost? Okay. What is the cost? So this is your room to operate. You should be in there, extract your profits, realize the gains, and be out of there. If you want to babysit very few runners, maybe you can use that 740 or break even. And you want to use the Q's VWAP. You don't want the Q's to collapse back under VWAP and go peekaboo. So this setup would require you to wait 1 hour, and during that 1 hour, you have a nice stretch to the upside. And Qs are testing VWAP. Okay. So this is what Price wanted. Price wanted to get into this territory. This key zone. Apple, complete breakaway. Apple, the earliest signal Apple came on the Shockwave 5. Okay, so Apple is out of here. Apple has left the station, never looked back. Okay. So what is the cost? Again, what is the cost? What's the price of having an opportunity to be in this? Whether it's for scale out, whether it's for TP1, TP2, right? Everyone manages positions differently. Okay, you can see where it tells you to take the calls. So it's not happening after the fact. All right, so now we're ready. I'm just finishing up the white papers for all of them, and then that would be available. So if the Qs can hold above that VWAP when it's all said and done, they're currently testing VWAP. Okay, and SPY can hold above 740, right? We have a chance of getting past this major resistance here. If Qs completely collapse below VWAP, start to head towards this 686.39 and continue to sell off, SPY will possibly give up that 740. Okay. So now we have more tools at our disposal. Okay, we have more tools in our tool belt. It tells you to scale out or take your profits right there. Okay. Again, guys, make sure to like the video. 2 trades in the books. Possibly can take one more. Amazon potential breakdown. That's brewing. Nvidia retest. That could possibly be brewing. IWM retrace reject underway. Beautiful job, SMC. Beautiful job, audio. Reese 84, if I'm saying that right. Or the 740 bounce. Up 60, done for the day. Good, good, good. Beautiful job, Dan. What I've been using the past. Okay, I'm always looking to add different components to my game every time. Right, forever a student. What I've been using in the background and really building a model around is, I believe everyone has access to this, is the TradingView volume candles. All right, so take a look at this. Go right there under candles. Go not hollow candles, right under that volume candles. So this illustrates of course, the textbook price action. But at the same time, it shows us how much volume is behind the action. Okay, so it gives us context on those candles. All right. So when you see those larger candles, you can see there's a lot of volume. Skinny candles, low volume. All right, I look at this on the other side screen. Okay, so you can have fun with that, especially if you use volume. So what's happening with the Qs, guys? Are the Qs holding above VWAP? Are the Qs holding above VWAP? SPY's last line of defense, 740. All right, the Qs are coming to this key zone. If they give up that key zone, Qs testing this key zone, SPY testing 740. And shockwave 60. If you take the 740 bounce, manage accordingly. Work towards your target, back into this territory. If you're a scalper, see profit, take profit. Q starting to bounce off that key zone, headed back towards VWAP. We'll do the end of stream poll here shortly, guys. End of week poll as well. So we're in the heart of second shift. In the heart of second shift. Look at that look at that wick. All right, you want to pay attention to what the Qs are doing here. And pay attention to what the Qs are doing. If the Qs give up that key zone, more than likely SPY will give up that 740. We're having some fuel. We're having a lot of selling pressure coming off this key zone. If you take this key zone, retrace, reject, or just a rejection, where's that stemming from? This is a level from this morning. You have to wait for it. The two major levels from this morning were right here and up here. I'm looking at the Amazon puts here. If SPY can stay below 740. Get a little closer to that entry, Amazon. For the lotto of the day. Get one little push. I'm looking at the 230, 250s on Amazon. Get one little push, give me a signal, and then fade. Okay, just keeping a close eye on Amazon for potential puts. But in this case, I want SPY to stay below 740. Look at this. Shenanigans. Shenanigans. Here we go. And just like that. This is, look at this. All right, look what just woke up. Entire market just woke up. Buyers just said, you know what? Let's just buy it off 740. And you know, if you took the 740 bounce, all right, and look at the Qs back above VWAP. Qs are pumping now. Right, that relief pop. We got a couple of relief pops like that with shenanigans that worked in our favor this week. Right, make sure to TP right there, because if that shenanigan starts to fade, that can just be an elaborate scheme to trap some bulls. I'll still keep a close eye on the Amazon puts, because if that's a trap, that's vicious. But my scalpers, my bounce traders, this is more than enough. Okay, this is more than enough to capitalize on. So still keeping a close eye on Amazon for that structural breakdown if SPY decides to trap those longs. All right, second shift is thinking of second shift, the shenanigans, our shenanigans, the shenanigans show. Okay, shenanigans show, second shift. One 100%, doctor. Shenanigans, shenanigans, shenanigans. Look at the hourly. Look at the hourly on SPY. Continues to push. Buyers on the 5. Buyers on the 15. They're really taking advantage of the shenanigans to get above that level. This is just program buying. This is just brute force buying. Okay, we'll call this brute force buying. Okay. But where is it coming off of? Right here. Even if you take this late signal, or you want the signal to be as close as possible to the entry there, all right, you can get away with that. Look at this TP2 hit on the 60. TP2 hit on the 60. Okay, TP2 hit on the 60. We're banging our head on that key level right there. Okay, prior day's highs. Things are starting to get interesting. Okay, so off of those lows. So now the sectors are flipped. Mags are at the highs of the day. We're getting very close to the highs of the day after reclaiming that PML. XLF is at the high of the day. XLE is pulling back. DRAM is bouncing off those lows. XLY is at the highs of the day. XLC at the highs of the day. XLK bouncing off those lows, testing that PML. SMH getting a relief bounce off those lows, testing that 570. You can see SMH right there. Okay. So the biggest winner from our Terrific 12 on the day is Apple. Right behind that, Microsoft. Right behind that, JPM. Right behind that, Palantir. Okay, those are the top four. Bottom four, MU. All right, so totality of the day. Intel, Tesla, TSM. From our reserves, IBM is up close to 4%. Disney's up 3%. Square, or Block, formerly known as Square, is up close to 2%. Netflix testing at 70, up 1.4%. And biggest losers, SNDK down 6. CRWV down 6. Robinhood down 6. SpaceX, okay, SpaceX at 110. That 110 test is coming up. We're basically at 111, between 111 and 112. Okay. So, Shockwave 60, calls. If you are just joining us, we did take 2 trades today on SPY. Both worked in our favor nicely. Apple, nice breakout on Apple. So Apple is the MVP for the day. Exxon slide into the downside. Where is the VIX? Can anyone tell me where the VIX is? Can anyone tell me what level the VIX is on? Without looking at the VIX. Should the VIX be above 19 if SPY is doing this? Okay, should the VIX be above 19 if SPY is doing this? Okay, if you take a look at the VIX, that's going to be very telling when we discuss this morning about separation. So Shockwave 60 goes all the way to TP2. Okay, if you take a look at the 5-minute, this is what it looks like. The shenanigans candles doesn't look as dramatic. If you take a look at the 10-second, you can see exactly when it came in. Okay. So the shenanigans candle, you can take a look at the 1 second. Okay, you can see exactly when it came. All right, let's go 2 second. 2 second. Okay, 5 second. You can see exactly when it came in right here. At 11, right here. At 11:14. Exactly. At 11:14. Exactly is when it came in. Alright, so I'm not recommending you using the 10-second chart, but it gives you. If you use a 10-second chart, a 1-minute chart feels like, or if you use a 1 second chart, a 1 minute candle feels like an hour. Okay, so Beautiful job, Turbo. 90% IWM calls. 5 days green this week, first time. Huge congratulations, my man. Keep it up. So again, guys, today's Friday. So what that means is over the weekend, look to adjust one thing. Whether it's the best week of your life, has been just a subpar week, if it's the worst week, it doesn't matter which end of the spectrum you're on, guys. We are still responsible for assessing the trades we took, reviewing the journal, and looking to improve one thing going to next week. All right, so we can never ever be above the process. Okay, so congratulations, Turbo. Okay, guys, so next week we are going to start to pick up some speed. This week, from a economic calendar perspective, was relatively quiet. Next week is the busiest week of the quarter. Next week is the busiest week of the quarter. It's a make or break week. After next week, okay, we will, after we complete with next week, it determines if we get back to all-time highs or we get back to 5% down on SPY. Bigger picture. Why? Next week, FOMC. We're believe it or not, we're back in the FOMC range. FOMC will have that coverage for you, wall-to-wall coverage from the opening bell all the way to the close. So don't forget that, guys. We'll also be trading FOMC. We'll have the press conference. We'll do our usual thing. We'll take our trades during the first couple hours. All right? We'll provide analysis, and then we'll have that FOMC coverage for you as well. And then on Thursday, we have PCE. Okay, GDP and PCE on Thursday. All right, so jam-packed economic calendar. Okay, on top of that, we have a jam-packed earnings calendar as well. Okay, so next week is the busiest day. Next week, Wednesday, is the busiest day of the quarter. Okay, next week is the busiest day of the quarter, next Wednesday specifically. Okay, so look, Wednesday, July 29th. So many things taking place. And then we go over to the earnings. Look at this. On Wednesday, next week, who reports? Forget about Wednesday. Next week, we got PayPal, we got UPS, we got Royal Caribbean, we got Visa. Okay, we got STX, Seagate, we got Waste Management, we got Ford, and XPI, Enphase. Okay, these are just the lesser known names. We got KO, Coca-Cola. We have Boeing. And then on Wednesday, we have Microsoft, Meta, Robinhood, ARM, QCOM. Okay, right there. Microsoft, Meta. M&M right there. Okay, those are two behemoths. Okay? Let alone we have CMG. We have Starbucks. That gives us some insight on the consumer. Right? If you start to put the pieces together, we can get a lot of insight on the consumer on top of the inflation data, on top of all that, by piecing what CMG says, what Starbucks says, what Royal Caribbean says. Okay, we can get a lot of the spending numbers. All right, we can, if you piece those two things together. All right, and then the next day we have ANA, Apple, Amazon, Coinbase, RBLX. Okay, we have MasterCard, again, consumer. Okay, spending. And then we have Shell. And then we have CVX as well, Chevron. So next week is the busiest week of the quarter. Next Wednesday is the busiest day of the quarter. So we're going from calm, chop, chop, chop to potential volatility. So I promise you, these conditions will pass. All right, this too shall pass. Right, but I want to bring that to your attention. So next week, jam-packed day, especially on Wednesday. Make sure to join us for our all-day marathon stream. We'll have that coverage for you. And maybe we might even flow right into earnings. Okay, we'll see. All right. But nonetheless, we're going to kick off the week very, very quiet. And then we're going to be in the eye of the storm. Okay. So that's what we got ahead of us. All right, okay, guys. So last signal, calls there. If you got that, good. So it's 11:25. Already took 2 trades. Nothing too major, just a couple of scalps to the downside. Nice double-digit extraction. Again, on the other side of patience is where the bigger moves take place. So Shockwave 60 giving you the opportunity here. On the 15 you can get it as well. 15. Here, 15. So Shockwave 15 here. We took this to downside. Okay. And we took this, I believe it was this to the downside. For return in the teens. No signal on that break. What's more impressive than the signal, guys, is the non-signal. Okay, because this, you would think, hey, put it like this. What's better? To catch this trade or to be in this trade and get trapped? Which one is easier to handle going to the next trade? Or which is more difficult to handle? Okay, so this is more difficult to handle. This is, okay, you can catch this, but if you take this, right, if you're wrong, there's a likelihood of you holding, which you shouldn't be holding. Right, we have to get over that. The holding, the days of holding, those have to come to an end. Whatever your risk is, whatever you define, you decide what it is, but you have to cut it. Okay, you have. That's some of you some traders right now, guys. That's the one thing holding you back. Okay, literally, right? Pun intended. Holding the trades is the one thing holding you back when you've been invalidated. All right, a lot of you are over that, and you're seeing the benefits. Now you're giving yourself a chance to reap some of the benefits of when you're right. Right, so no signal there, no signal there, no signal there. Did his job. Okay, so these, okay, this signal here comes in. Okay, you go to TP1, you got 1R. The trailing stop gets stopped out if you have the trail out at break even. I take this to the downside at attempt at getting it to the lows of the day, but not discounting that 13, 14, 15% TP opportunity. Take it off, the runners, break even. Take it again here. Okay, same thing, take profits at the teens, give the runners a little bit of room. That time I didn't see the Qs fall below the lows, then they continue to fall lower. They start to bounce. We see some divergence, and I close those runners very close to break even. So this one there's not even a signal. It was just on my own strength. All right, and then here comes in once again put signal. You take it to TP1. So the two signals that did come in, both yielded. 3 of them yielded TP1 scale out. Okay, so 2R, 1R, okay, and 2R. And then the trailing stops all got stopped out. And then, when does the break come into play? Okay, I think I have a maximum amount of signals that I have set. Okay, so because you can customize that. Let me see how many I have here. So you can see max calls per day. Let's do 5. Let's do 5. Let's do 10. I'd be surprised if it didn't detect this. Let's see. Okay, so surprisingly missed this. So Shockwave 60 got it, but 15 for some reason didn't get it. All right, but nonetheless, you get the break. It continues to push the upside. Okay, let's see if 5 is beyond the 5 clock, so the 60 got it. All right, so nonetheless, all right, that's basically how things transpired. Comes in, breaks, gets the retest, continues to push. And then now we're all the way up here. We're above prior day's highs. Now let's just zoom out. Okay, zoom out just a little bit. Okay, so what took place? So we opened up. Okay, they paid the bears. Now they're paying the bulls. Who got slaughtered? Okay, the bears will get fed, guys. If you're bearish at the right time, you'll get paid. You'll get fed. If you're bullish at the right time, you'll get fed. If you get greedy, the market slaughters the pigs. Okay, so now someone who's too bearish and refuses to take profit gets slaughtered. Someone who is bullish right off the open and refuses to accept that the market is going somewhere else gets slaughtered. But the one who's willing to pivot and be nimble, okay, will give themselves the best chances, okay, at being a bear or a bull at the right time when those participation groups are being compensated. All right, so now we're starting to resurface back above this zone, and we're trying to work our way back into this rejection zone. So basically, we're in the jaws of this channel. We bounce here, we bounce there, we bounce there. So we're still in this bearish channel. So for us to make a push into ATH, okay, looking a little ahead, we need to address this major resistance at some point in time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So it's going to take place, okay, right in front of us, unless we get some kind of parabolic gap up. All right, so I'm not saying that's going to happen today, but going into next week, going into the next 2 weeks, we have enough catalyst, okay, to either send us to all-time highs or to send us to 5% pullback territory. And we're going to see all this play out, okay, in real time. All right. Okay, guys. We'll do the end of stream poll here, guys. End of week poll as well. If we're at 100 likes, we'll do a giveaway. So make sure to like the video, guys. If you're done for the day, be done. Let's get the likes up. Double my trade account. Double my trade, not my account. Beautiful job. Double my money on the spike. Done for the day. Done for the week. Make 12 trades all week. Lost on 2 or 3 big wins today. Beautiful job, Wiz. You're always in the chat. Good, good, good. First time here. Great channel. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Any other first timers? Okay, so whether you're a first timer or long timer, make sure to like the video, guys. Let's do a giveaway. Let's try to do a giveaway. Squeeze in a giveaway. 10 more likes before we wrap up. Is the buy and sell signal accurate depending on risk rewards? Yes, so the buy and sell signal is based on risk reward. Right, so it gives you the risk reward framework. Okay. So let's clear the chart a little bit, clean up the chart. You choose the risk reward. All right, so I'm putting the risk reward in your hands. You choose. All right, you choose what the risk reward is, but once you choose, you must stick to it. Okay, you must stick to it. For instance, let's see the last items currently brewing. Okay, this is on the 15, right? A little bit late on the 15, right? This is kind of at the cutoff point. All right, but it draws out your risk reward based on what you pick. Okay, let's look for an example that didn't work out. Meta, anyone have any names? Any tickers? Okay, Meta. Okay, here we go, Meta. Okay, Meta, the first trade on Meta for the puts did not work out. Okay. So when I built this, I started from trying to poke as many holes into it as possible. Okay. Trying to break it. And then once I broke it, I tried to fix all the breaks and I tried to patch all the holes and then reconstruct it so it avoids the traps. And if there is a trap, that it gets you out of there. So in this case, Meta, you take the puts right there. You see, you risk 1 to make 2. All right, you take the puts right there. Where's your stop? Your stop is right there. What happens? You get stopped out. Stop out. It comes back into play. If you're going to double dip, that's your choice. But if you just say, hey, you know what, I'm just only going to trade once, that's fine. Because you can put a cool off period on the signal as well. All right. And then after the stop out, nothing there, nothing there. And another signal comes in for the puts. Okay. This one takes you all the way down there to a scale out. So you got stopped out for 1 hour. You make 1 hour right there at scale out. So you should be maybe Small red, break even. Best case scenario, break even. Worst case scenario, fills and not getting the best fill, maybe small red. All right, so, but from a risk reward standpoint, you lost one, you made one. But we know things can be different depending on your fills, depending on execution. So we'll give it a small buffer and not give it the benefit of the doubt and say small red. And then it continues to go, okay, and it goes the other way. So full circle moment on Meta. All right, so chops, chops, chops. Say you decide to trade Meta that day. No signal there. Okay, calls coming here on Meta. Same thing, same risk reward. Nothing changes to the upside. Almost get stopped out. No stop out, scale out hit. The stop out is right here. Okay. And that's where Meta is. Okay, so far, Meta, you're up 2R and you lost 1R. Actually, this is 2R. Yeah, 2R, 1R, 1R, 2R. So you're up 1R. So that's how it works. It's a game of risk reward. So it takes all those things into consideration. Okay. Now the best one, of course, was MVP of the day is Apple. Apple reclaims that major support. Apple, you get the calls right there. You scale out TP1 if you want to hold a TP1, TP2. If you have a trailing stop, I have a trailing stop feature. Okay, if you want to trail your stop, the trailing stop feature right there stops you right there at TP2. And the cool thing is, okay, you can customize the trailing stop. All right, so for my traders who like to use those runners and diamond hand runners and let trades go, there's two features available: noise suppression, okay, and noise suppression simply means the candles are going to stay green or candles are going to stay bullish or bearish and block out all the other candles so you don't get shaken out. Okay, so in this case, here we go. Noise suppression feature kicks on. Right? If you're a trader that your edge is holding and catching those massive R's. Okay, here you go. So it leads you. It says hold, and then trail. Cut it right there.
Great. How are you?
I think someone's here. Someone's mic is on. All right, so there we go. Okay, so that trailing stop noise suppression feature is for those parabolic breaks that never look back. You can turn it by default. It's off. By default, it's off. Okay, you can turn it on, and it's going to be fixed to. Okay, it's going to be fixed to. You decide. Until what? Until TP1 hit, TP2 hit the noise suppression feature, and if you want to go to the trailing stop feature, you can customize the way your trailing stop is placed. Okay, there's a hybrid trailing stop. You can use EMA base, VWAP base, swing structure base, candle base. If you're EMA based, you can choose. All right, you can choose the EMA. If you're EMA based, all right, where you get your trailing stop is right there. All right, so I have the hybrid in there by default if you want to use trailing stops. What the hybrid approach does, okay, the hybrid trailing stop, what it does is once something breaks out and it goes, it gives you the best chance to catch the biggest piece. And what it does, where's my trailing stop feature? Okay, so it combines everything. All right, and it gives weight to each of those components. Okay, so that's Apple is definitely the winner, guys. Look at Apple. Okay. I trade like this. All the times you got stopped out for 1R. Okay. All the times you got stopped out and you were wrong. Okay. You catch a trade like this. That's when you start to really benefit from that win. But if you've been getting beat up and letting your stops get violated and you're taking massive losses, a trade like Apple, as clean as that, is not going to, it's a drop in the bucket. All right, that's why it's so important to manage risk, guys. Because now when you manage risk properly, when you win, you get a bigger piece of your win overall. All right, when you win, when those trades do work in your favor, okay, it's not a drop in the bucket because you manage risk the wrong way when you are wrong. You see how that works out? It doesn't matter how big the win is if you're constantly taking big losses. Right? But if you're taking smaller losses and you have a positive risk reward ratio, then it's a matter of time. It's just a matter of doing it over and over and over and over again. Okay? Any questions on YouTube, guys? Any questions? God bless you too, Fishman. Thank you for always speaking life into the chat every single morning. None of you guys are forced to be here. You want to be here. You guys show up. You guys put the effort in to learn, put your best foot forward. So the least I can do is do the same thing. All right, no one is forced to be here. You are coming here every day, choosing to be here. All right, so hopefully you are learning something every day. All right, so all I ask is you to smash the like button, subscribe, and continue to get better. Meta, potential retest on Meta. All right, those two scalps, I'll probably just wrap it up there, guys. If you caught SPA in the 60, you got blessed by that shenanigans candle. Congratulations. But the read came in when the VIX cracked back below, okay, 1850. That's the separation we talked about. Now the VIX is testing 17. Things can get very, very interesting. So if the bulls decide to run this thing up, okay, it will be a tie game from a structural standpoint if they can get price back into 748. Okay, if they can get it about 748 up here. Okay, well, they kind of took the lead and flipped this weekly open. If these buyers are real and they want to set the stage for next week to make a comeback, okay, they're not gonna. They're just trying to build momentum into next week. It's essentially what's taking place. They need to get price close above here. If they can do that, there's a possibility for next week for us to get some follow through on Monday to the upside. All right, still too early to call, but if they're real buyers, guys, if there's real buying, if it's whether it's algorithmic or not, whatever the buying is, we can care less. Okay, then it should drive price into this territory and above. If it falls short of that weekly open, it falls short of that 50% retrace the week, because we're watching this 50% retrace the week, because now that weekly candle is going to be a doji. If we get above 748.19, this becomes bullish. Say for instance, if somehow we get up here and we start to gravitate towards up here, that now becomes very bullish on the weekly. So currently the bears are in charge of that weekly candle. Okay, so if the bulls want to tie the game up, turn that weekly candle into doji, their task is here. What the bears' job is to keep price under here. I mean, at some point in time, they had it all the way down here. Now they're starting to lose some element of the lead. And now we're starting to get a nice fanning of the EMAs. We're grinding higher. Okay. We're slowly grinding higher. And we're above that daily upside breaker. Okay, so interesting to see how that all that plays out. Whichever scenario plays out from an intraday perspective going to Monday, we can care less, guys. We'll be here to take advantage of the intraday action. Right? Our job is not to figure out where it's going to be, where it's going to open up, where it's going to close. All right, our job is to take advantage of it as it moves when we're engaged. Okay. On that note, guys, as always, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. If we're at 100 likes, we will do a giveaway. Let me just check the likes. And if we're short of that 100 threshold, we'll try again on Monday. Is SPY likely to sell out before the close? There's a possibility, but right now on the hourly candles, we're seeing buyers. All right, there's buyers are present. All right, so buyers are present. We're grinding higher. VIX, if VIX falls below that 1750, this thing can start to really drop to the downside. VIX can start to drop below the 1750, go towards 17. SPY gets to 745. That 745 is not something new. Okay, if you guys recall, 745 was an area where price has fell in love with and continues to revisit. I just can't get over that price, right? It creates separation away from it, but somehow, some way, gravitates back towards it. So that's what we want to keep a close eye on. All right, so we're slightly short of 100 likes today. Let me refresh. Okay, we're about 6 likes short. We're wrapping up at 12 o'clock. Okay, any questions, guys, let us know. Strikers, hopefully found value this week. We'll do the end of the week poll, end of the day poll first, and then we'll do the end of the week poll. If you joined the community today, welcome aboard, welcome to the team. On Monday we have live trading ahead of us, and we'll see what takes place. Okay, 90%, good turbo. You guys did tremendous yesterday. I think the poll results yesterday were 80%. So a lot of you are starting to catch the hot hand late week, like myself. July 24. So let us know how you did. And if you're going to take one thing away, guys, fight for the week. Okay, always keep the week in mind. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to do the right things. Okay, that's going to give you the best chance. Okay, that's going to give you the best chance. Just give yourself a chance. That's it. That's all you need. Have a great weekend, everyone. If you're logging off, if we can get 2 more likes, we'll do a giveaway. Okay, let us know how you did, guys. And anyone closing on their first green week, that's an accomplishment every day. That's the point of all the tools and resources. That's why we have the program. That's why we have all this available. Is just to get one more trader to be green on the week. or just let them taste what green on the week tastes like. And I promise you, if you taste it once, okay, you want to taste it again. And it's not by chance that you became green. You showed up multiple days. You probably had a couple of stop outs. You probably had some trades that worked in your favor. All right. And once you can see it tangibly, okay, then you're going to start to really understand the importance of all these frameworks. It's really difficult to understand how important these things are unless you put it into practice and really see how they work, okay? So if it is your first green week, congratulations. If it's your consecutive green weeks, you still have adjustments to make. Look for something to improve. If this is your first red week in a long time, if it's a consecutive red week, all right, continue to do the same things. Don't abandon your system. See what things you can refine. Maybe it's a modification in your entry model. All right, but you don't want to overhaul anything too much. It's just trying to make small tweaks if you already have a system that's been working for you. Okay, maybe reduce the frequency of trades. All right, so everyone is tasked with coming into next week, okay, a better version of themselves and a better trader, because that's what's going to require. All right, the only difference is next week we have a ton of catalyst. All right, so things should be a little more fun. There should be a little more volatility, a little more movement, and we'll be there to capitalize off all that, all the opportunity available. You're welcome, Jen. And if you haven't already, guys, make sure to leave a review. Leave a review on WAP, the ones who are members. Leave a review on Shockwave. Leave a review on Strikers Discord. 8 for 8 SPX scalps this morning. Missed the shenanigans, can't move though. Took profits before it went up. Done until power. Tremendous job, Jake. You've been crushing the scalps. And your win rate is just through the roof. Have a great weekend, everyone. Yeah, make sure to enjoy your weekend, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Don't be thinking about the market. Don't be thinking about candles, all right? Just forget it. Completely just remove yourself from the market. Okay. Detach, and then when the week returns, you can re-engage. I promise you the market is not thinking of us. It doesn't love us that much. Look at Apple, guys. Even this stretch right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 5-minute candles. 8 consecutive 5-minute candles green on Apple. Okay, that is basically 40 minutes, or that is 40 minutes of consecutive buying. After that one pause for profit taking. Take a look at Apple on the 5-minute chart. Okay. Okay, so it's basically every red candle is profit taking. Take profit and pile back in. Take profit, pile back in. Take profit, pile back in. But there's a lot of traders who try to catch the top of names that have strength. And you got to stop doing that. Okay, just because you see one red candle on a strong name, it doesn't mean it's going to go lower. When you see a name this strong, you're going to have to use setups that have a multiple things to check off before going short. Okay, not just a one point of confirmation entry. So at least 3-4 points of confirmation. because you're going to get dragged. You're standing in front of a moving train. Right? There's no key levels between this. Between 330 and 330, 339. Okay? It's an open field. It's basically the Autobahn. Apple already has strength. It's just a beautiful freeway. So they can run this thing up. That's exactly what took place. Now we're starting to get a little bit of friction up at that 330, 339. Then we have our first key level there. And this is the 60, guys. This is a shockwave 60. This is not even from before. Okay. So this is the latest entry. And look at that. And this one you want to do with 1 DTEs. And that's about $4.20. Okay. $4.20. Let's go. Look at that, guys. Amen. God is the greatest. Isn't that the best when your orders don't get filled to sell and the thing continues to rip? All right. This is the power of. So Pudol here illustrates to us, all right, the power of one contract. Okay. I mean, is this going to be something you can do every single day? Probably not. But if something is ripping like Apple is ripping, here you go, one contract. So these things are being done in real time, guys. So tremendous job. Tremendous job. And what a way to end the week. Okay, so tremendous job. And you took the risk. You defined the risk and took the risk early. Okay, most people are interested in Apple now. Okay, so to give you some context, that type of return, okay, 500% return is not just, you don't just wake up and get 500% return. Okay, this is where the entry came in. $500% return is what a 500% return looks like on a zero. Okay, 500% return. If you have Shockwave 5, you have to be active during the first, before your window to operate is before 9:45, right here. Shockwave 5. So this is a 500% return type of trade. And so you're expected to get 500% return to hold from this time, okay, but before 9:45 all the way till now, 11:54, close to 12 o'clock. Okay, so close to 2 hours. And you need that, in particular, you need the underlying to make a move like this. So a great way on define the risk early, executing, and letting this thing run. Because this thing is all the way at TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4, TP5, TP4. Okay, so that means you're risking 1R to make 8R. That's a 1 to 8 type of trade. All right. So tremendous job. That might be the trade of the week. You might have got the Trader of the Week award. I have to start doing awards for our team. Trader of the Week or Diamond Hand of the Week. Tremendous job. How many likes we got, guys? And we'll give away the course today. We'll give away the course. Getting started day trading course. Let's do a quick giveaway. Okay, it is Friday. So let's do the giveaway here quickly. Let's collect some names. Collect some names. Okay, let's collect some names. So put your names in the chat. Names in the chat between now and 12:05. Names in the chat between now and 12:05. So we'll do a coaching call for our members, and then we'll do a course for people on YouTube. So the coaching call you can use whenever. I still have to send you my availability for next week, Joe P. So I'll send that to you today. So put your names in the chat on YouTube. If you are just jumping in, you came in right at the perfect time. So our Getting Started Day Trading course, the one course that's going to get you ready from zero to market ready in 5 hours. Okay, so it's going to require you to spend some time, but it's going to be time well spent. Okay, it's going to be time well spent. You're going to have to give something to learn. Okay, you're going to have to give up your time. If you don't win, you can give up your money and your time to learn the information. But if you do win, the only thing you have to put in is your time. So we got Daniel. We got Daniel Z. We got Brian S. We got Addie. We got Bella B. We got Chris, JP, we got Jim, we got Eaton, we got Ender, we got Matthew, we got NK. We got Vin. We got Mercy. Okay, 2 minutes. I got you, Fido. We got Fido. So for our members, it's a coaching call. You guys already have access to the course. We got Judith, Fido, Jake R. Okay. Keep hitting the like button. Last thing I got is Mercy. We got Surabhi. If I'm pronouncing your name right. If I'm not, apologies. Surabhi. Thank you for supporting the channel, Surabhi. I got you, Day. ADE, got you already. All right, so less than 1 minute before we do the giveaway. We got Poodle. Okay. Less than 30 seconds. We got Rant. We got Kesh. So the last thing I got in the disc on Google Meets is Judith. The last thing I got in the Discord is Poodle. The last thing I got on YouTube is Kesh. I know there's about like a 10-second delay on YouTube, 20-second delay, so I'll give it about an extra 10 seconds. Okay, going once. Going twice. We got Jack. Jack the Ripper. Okay, so all the names are in. Now we're going to do for Okay, last entry. I'll add that last entry. App 3. All right. All right, so giveaway time. Yesterday I did 1 hour. It's not going to be an hour. Okay, so we got our giveaway window right here. All right, so we're going to start it. All right, before we do start it, let's quickly go over how to claim your prize. If you are in the Discord already, of course you want to send me a DM. Okay, you want to send me a DM. If you are on YouTube, okay, you're gonna have to go and join the free tier Discord. Join the free tier Discord, and the way you do that is by going to smartactiontrade.com. Okay, go to smartactiontrade.com and go to the community tab. And once you go to the community tab, go to the free tier Discord and send me a DM. All right, send me a DM, and then I'll give you access to the course. All right, I'll give you access to the course. Okay, so are we ready? Let me mute this thing. On your marks, get set. Let's go. Who's the winner today? So we got Mercy pushing, JP closing in. Mercy starting to fade. Ender pushing. I think NK might pull it off. NK or Fido. NK or Fido are coming in. Brian S pulling in. Rant trying to close it on the lead. Jim. 20 seconds. Okay. Pulling away. I think it's going to be Mercy or Fido. Fido pulling in. Fido pulling in. Fido closes out. Congratulations, Fido. All right, so there's no way for me to rig it, so I know I called Fido or Mercy. But congratulations, Fido. Send me a DM and I'll send you my availability for next week or whatever time works best for you. All right, so congratulations, Fido. Again, guys, if you're looking to join our community, make sure to do so. Free tiers available for everyone. Take advantage. 24/7 stock market newsfeed. If you're looking to trade with us every single day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, we get started. We have a pre-market prep stream along with a delay-free, ad-free stream for the intraday action, live trading. You get to see my whole screen, not just half it on YouTube. You have access to tools and resources and everything. If you have any indicators or tools, also go to the indicator tab here. All right, so again, everything is available to you at smartactiontrade.com. Make sure to go visit smartactiontrade.com for all things smart action. Any questions, guys? Any questions before we wrap up? Second place. Unfortunately, second place is the first to lose. There's no prize for second place. All you can do is just try to race again. Right, all you can do is try to race again. Just try again on Monday. All right, so we can do the giveaway. I've been stretching the giveaway until the window until the end of the stream, but we want to hit that 100 like number by 10:30. All right, for every 50 likes after that, we can do multiple winners. All right, so we can do second place, get something, third place, get something. All right, and we will do a big giveaway. When we get to the psychological level on our chart, on our channel, not our chart. 5,900 subs. 5,900 subs, we will do a big giveaway. We will probably do 1 month of Shockwave. All right, so 1 month of Shockwave. So let's get to 5,900 subs. That'll be the big giveaway. All right. just shoot me a DM, Fido, and then we can set up a coaching call. So there's 2 coaching calls that I got to set up with our members. And the awesome thing is the members are winning, right? So that's always cool. On that note, guys, everyone on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you guys on Monday, not tomorrow. We won't see you tomorrow. Stay safe. If you're green, stay clean. If you're still in the trenches, we're starting to expand to the upside. Keep a close eye on these key levels. Right? If you have the key level indicator, if you remember, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But the key levels, if you don't have the indicator, are as follows. Right now, we're starting to push for the past 3 hours. We're starting to push and keep a close eye on that 745 level. So now we're trading between 745 and 742.56. All right. So what kind of reaction do we get off those levels? Okay. Does that turn to support? Does this turn to resistance? What happens in between? We get past the 745, then we open up to this next level. But by the end of the day, the primary thing you got to pay attention to is this here, right? Can the bulls drive price into 747.06? If they can get price above that, that weekly candle now turns into a doji, but the open is higher. The closing price could potentially be higher than the opening price, right? So that tells us that they bought up all those lows during the week and they're trying to drive that price higher, right? And then that's what it tells us on the daily. So on the weekly, they basically just tie the game, right? So the bears were in charge for the majority of the week. They have a chance, the bulls have a chance to tie the game, and they can continue to drive price past this point. But currently, the primary focus is going to be what takes place between here, right? If we spend some time in this territory, we start to do one of these maneuvers, right? Treat support as support, resistance as resistance. If you're looking for that continued expansion into that weekly open, okay, your segue is going to be that 750 break, hold, okay, and continued expansion. What do you need for that to take place? You need the cues to continue to push, possibly past PMH, okay? So you're going to need the cues to do that. You're going to need the Dow to continue to do that, all right? If we zoom out on the hourly on SPY, right, where does that 745 lie? It lies right into this territory. So if you're looking for that push beyond 745 and into that weekly open, okay, you're existing here above this territory. But right now we're reclaiming this major bounce zone. Okay, and now we're starting to work our way into this next level there. All right, so that's where we are, guys. Hopefully found value this week. We'll see you guys on Monday. Stay safe, and God bless each one of you.
Jesus is the answer. Oh.
When the charts went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen, thinking one more win would finally make me complete. Running after green candles like they could save my soul. The prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne.
Ooh, yeah.
Build my house on sand. Watch the tide roll in. Learning every earthly kingdom has an end. Some valleys look so deep, I couldn't see the light. Some storms got so strong, I couldn't win the fight. But every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child,
Keep walking on.
not because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worthy,
not because I'm strong,
not because I'm strong,
but because the shepherd
never share.
never leaves his own. Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm when the market starts to sway. Through the highs and lows,
Through the joy and pain,
the cross still stands when
everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone.
Every man
There's fear inside my chest.
so bold.
Questions without answers.
Answers.
Battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch.
But Psalm 23.
Kept reminding me to trust. So I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies. I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side. The rod and the staff, the comfort and grace, the God of resurrection. resurrection meeting me in that place. I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock. I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy, life story I could never write, turning broken chapters into testimony and life.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm when the
Market's fought this way.
through the highs and lows,
Through the joy and pain.
the car still stands when
Everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
He's today and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley's found.
If you're tired of running,
If you're carrying change,
if you're searching for purpose,
in success or in fame,
the good news is simple.
the debt has been paid. Jesus took our place upon the cross that day.
3 days later,
The stone rolled away.
death lost the victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes
Whoever will come
will find forgiveness in the Father's
I
Son.
still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope is eternal and the outcome is dead. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall,
Christ remains Lord over all.
the market can give,
The market can take
but eternity rests.
on a different step.
So when the candles flicker,
And uncertainty grows.
I remember the one who's already in control,
The Lamb who was slain.
the King who will reign
The Alpha and Omega.
forever the same.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
the anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer.
forever and ever.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
Jesus is the answer.
The answer.
Jesus is the
Jesus is the
answer.
answer. Though I walk through the valley,
You are with me.
shadows around me.
You are with me.
Through the valley,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever.
Amen.
Amen.
Jesus is the answer.
When the charge went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen,
Going stream,
thinking one more win would finally make me complete.
made me complete.
Running after green candles like they could save my soul.
Like my soul.
The prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand,
House on sand.
watch the tide roll in,
Watch the tide roll in.
learning every earthly
Every king
kingdom has an end.
come has an end.
Some valleys look so deep,
So deep,
I couldn't see the light.
couldn't see the light.
Some storms got so strong,
Souls got so
strong I couldn't win the fight.
Win the fight.
But every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child, keep.
walking on.
Not because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worried,
not because I'm strong,
not because I'm strong,
but because the shepherd
never share.
never leaves his own.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
the anchor in the storm when the market starts to sway. Through the highs and lows,
Through the joy and pain,
the cross still stands when
everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone,
Every man
there's fear inside my chest,
so bold.
questions without answers,
Answers.
battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch,
But Psalm 23.
kept reminding me to trust. Though I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies, I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side. The rod and the staff, the comfort and grace, the God of resurrection meeting me in that place. I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock. I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy,
Life story I could never write.
turning broken chances into testimony and life.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
the anchor in the storm when the
Market's fought this way.
through the highs and lows,
Through the joy and pain,
the car still stands when
everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
He's today and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley's found.
If you're tired of running,
If you're carrying change,
if you're searching for purpose,
in success or in fame,
the good news is simple.
the debt has been paid. Jesus took our place upon the cross that day.
3 days later,
The stone rolled away.
death lost the victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever
side. I still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope is eternal and the outcome is there. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall, the price remains Lord overall. The market can give, the market can take, but eternity rests on a different stage. So when the candles flicker and uncertainty grows, I remember the one who's already in control. The Lamb who was slain, the King who will reign, the Alpha and Omega, forever the same. Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the way. The anchor in the storm. Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the answer. Forever and ever. Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the way. Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the answer. Though I walk through the valley, you are with me. Shadows around me, you are with me. Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the answer. Forever and ever. Amen. Amen.
Jesus is the answer.
When the charts went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen, thinking one more win would finally make me complete.
Made me complete,
Running after green candles like they could save my soul.
like my soul.
The prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand,
House on sand,
watch the tide roll in,
watch the tide roll in.
learning every earthly
Every king,
kingdom has an end.
come has an end.
Some valleys look so deep,
So deep,
I couldn't see the light.
couldn't see the light.
Some storms got so strong,
Souls got so
strong I couldn't win the fight.
Win the fight.
But every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child, keep
walking on.
not because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worried,
not because I'm strong,
not because I'm strong,
but because the shepherd
never share.
never leaves his own. Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way,
The anchor in the storm when the market starts to sway. Through the highs and lows,
through the joy and pain,
the cross still stands when
everything goes fake.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone,
Every man,
there's fear inside my chest,
so bold,
questions without answers,
answers,
battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch,
but Psalm 23,
kept reminding me to trust. Though I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies, I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side. The rod and the staff, the comfort and grace, the God of resurrection meeting me in that place. I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock. I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy,
life story I could never write.
turning broken chances into testimony and life.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way,
The anchor in the storm when the
market's fucked its way.
through the highs and lows,
Through the joy and pain,
the car still stands when
everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
He's today and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley's found.
If you're tired of running,
If you're carrying change,
if you're searching for purpose,
in success or anything,
the good news is simple.
the debt has been paid. Jesus took our place upon the cross that day.
3 days later,
The stone rolled away.
death lost the victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes
Whoever will come will find forgiveness in the Father's side. I still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope is eternal and the outcome is there. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall, the price remains Lord overall. The market can give,
the market can take,
but eternity rests
on a different stage.
So when the candles flicker
And uncertainty grows,
I remember the one who's already in control.
the Lamb who was slain,
The King who will
the
reign
Alpha and Omega,
forever the same.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way,
The anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way,
Jesus is the answer.
the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
When the charge went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen, thinking one more win would finally make me complete. Running after green candles like they could save my soul. But prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand, watch the tide roll in. Learning every earthly kingdom has an end. Some valleys look so deep, I couldn't see the light. Some storms got so strong, I couldn't win the fight. But every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child, keep
Walking on.
not because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worried.
not because I'm strong,
Not because I'm strong.
but because the shepherd
Never change.
never leaves his own. Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm when the market starts to sway. Through the highs and lows,
Through the joy and pain.
the cross still stands when
Everything goes fake.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone.
Every man.
There's fear inside my chest.
So old.
Questions without answers.
Texas.
Battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch.
But Psalm 23.
Kept reminding me to trust. Though I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies, I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side. The rod and the staff, the comfort and grace, the God of resurrection meeting me in that place. I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock. I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy,
Life story I could never write.
turning broken chances into testimony and life.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm when the market
Market's not just way.
through the highs and lows.
Through the joy and pain.
The card still stands when
Everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley's found.
If you're tired of running.
If you're carrying change,
If you're searching for purpose.
in success or in fame,
The good news is simple.
that has been paid. Jesus took our place upon the cross that day.
3 days later.
The stone rolled away.
Death lost its victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes.
Whoever will come will find forgiveness in the Father's Son. I still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope isn't found and the outcome is there. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall,
The price remains Lord over all.
the market can give,
The market can take.
but eternity rests.
On a different step.
So when the candles flicker,
And uncertainty grows.
I remember the one who's already in control.
The Lamb who was slain.
The King who will reign
The Alpha and Omega.
forever the same.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
Jesus is the answer.
The answer.
Jesus is the
Jesus is the
answer.
answer. Though I walk through the valley.
You are with me.
Shadows surround me.
You are with me.
Through the valley.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever.
Amen.
Amen.
Jesus is the answer.
When the charge went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen, thinking one more win would finally make me complete.
Made me complete.
Running after green candles like they could save my soul.
Like my soul.
But prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand,
House on sand.
watch the tide roll in.
Watch the tide roll in.
Learning every earthly
Every
kingdom has an end.
kingdom has an end.
Some valleys look so deep,
So deep.
I couldn't see the light.
Couldn't see the light.
Some storms got so strong, because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worthy,
not because I'm strong,
not because I'm strong,
but because the shepherd
never share.
never leaves his own. Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way,
The anchor in the storm when the market starts to sway. Through the highs and lows,
through the joy and pain,
the cross still stands when
everything goes fake.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone.
Every man,
There's fear inside my chest.
so bold,
Questions without answers.
answers,
Battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch.
but Psalm 23,
Kept reminding me to trust. Though I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies, I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side. The rod and the staff, the comfort and grace, the God of resurrection meeting me in that place. I've seen doors swing open that no man could have locked. I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy,
life story I could never write.
turning broken chances into testimony and life.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way,
The anchor in the storm when the market
it's not just way,
through the highs and lows.
through the joy and pain,
The call still stands when
everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley's found.
If you're tired of running,
If you're carrying change,
if you're searching for purpose,
in success or in fame,
the good news is simple.
that has been paid. Jesus took our place upon the cross that day.
3 days later,
The stone rolled away.
death lost its
The
victory.
grave could not stay.
Whoever believes
Whoever will come will find forgiveness in the Father's Son. I still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope is eternal and the outcome is there. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall, the price remains Lord over all. The market can give,
the market can take
but eternity rests.
on a different step.
So when the candles flicker,
And uncertainty grows.
so remember the one who's already in control.
The Lamb who was slain,
The King who will reign
the Alpha and Omega.
forever the star.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way,
The anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer,
Ever and ever.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way,
Jesus is the answer.
the answer,
Jesus is the
Jesus is the
answer.
answer. Though I walk through the valley,
You are with me.
shadows surround me.
You are with me.
Through the valley,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever. Amen.
Jesus is the answer.
When the charts went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen,
Going stream,
thinking one more win would finally make me complete.
made me complete.
Burning after green candles like they could save my soul.
Like my soul.
But prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand,
House on sand,
watch the tide roll in,
watch the tide roll in.
learning every earthly
Every king,
kingdom has an end.
come has an end.
Some valleys look so deep,
So deep,
I couldn't see the light.
couldn't see the light.
Some storms got so strong,
Souls got so
strong I couldn't win the fight.
the fight.
Oh, but every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child, keep.
Walking on,
Not because I'm worthy,
not because I'm worthy,
not because I'm strong,
not because I'm strong,
but because the shepherd
never share.
never leaves his own.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way,
The anchor in the storm when the market starts to sway. Through the highs and lows,
through the joy and pain,
the cross still stands when
everything goes fake.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer,
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone.
every man,
There's fear inside my chest.
so bold,
Questions without answers.
answers,
Battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch.
but Psalm 23,
Kept reminding me to trust. Though I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies, I will fear no evil, for you're right I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock. I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy, life story I could never write. Turning broken chapters into testimony and life.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm when the
Markets fluctuate.
through the highs and lows.
Through the joy and pain.
The car still stands when
Everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
He's the day and now. The King who walks beside us through every valley's found.
If you're tired of running,
If you're carrying change
if you're searching for purpose,
in success or in fame,
the good news is simple.
the debt has been paid. Jesus took our place upon the cross that day.
3 days later,
The stone rolled away.
death lost its victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes
Whoever will come will find forgiveness in the Father's side. I still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope is eternal and the outcome is dead. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall, the price remains Lord over all. The market can give,
the market can take
but eternity rests.
on a different step.
So when the candles flicker,
And uncertainty grows.
I remember the one who's already in control.
The Lamb who was slain,
The King who will reign
the Alpha and Omega.
forever the star.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Ever and ever.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
Jesus is the answer.
The answer.
Jesus is the
Jesus is the answer.
answer.
Though I walk through the valley,
You are with me.
shadows surround me.
You are with me.
Through the valley,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever. Amen.
Jesus is the answer.
When the charts went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
Oh, I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen,
Going stream,
thinking one more win would finally make me complete.
made me complete.
Running after green candles like they could save my soul.
Like my soul.
But prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand,
House on sand.
watch the tide roll in.
Watch the tide roll in.
Learning every earthly
Every king
kingdom has an end.
come has an end.
Some valleys look so deep,
So deep,
I couldn't see the light.
couldn't see the light.
Some storms got so strong,
Souls got so
strong I couldn't win the fight.
Win the fight.
Oh, but every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child, keep.
walking on.
Not because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worried,
not because I'm strong,
not because I'm strong,
but because the shepherd
never share.
never leaves his own.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm when the market starts to sway. Through the highs and lows,
Through the joy and pain,
the cross still stands when
everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone.
Every man,
There fear inside my chest.
so bold.
Questions without answers.
Answers,
Battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch.
but Psalm 23.
Kept reminding me to trust. So I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies. I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side. The rod and the staff, the comfort and grace. The God of resurrection meeting me in that place. I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock. I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy,
Life story I could never write.
turning broken chapters into testimony and
Jesus is the
life.
answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm when the
Markets fluctuate.
through the highs and lows.
Through the joy and pain,
The car still stands when
everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
He's the day and now. The King who walks beside us through every valley's found.
If you're tired of running,
If you're carrying change
if you're searching for purpose,
in success or in fame,
the good news is simple.
the debt has been paid. Jesus took our place upon the cross that day.
3 days later,
The stone rolled away.
death lost its victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes
Whoever will come already in control.
The Lamb who was slain.
The King who will reign.
The Alpha and Omega.
Forever the same.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Ever and ever.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
Jesus is the answer.
The answer.
Jesus is the
Jesus is the
answer.
answer. Though I walk through the valley,
You are with me.
shadows surround me.
You are with me.
Through the valley,
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever.
Amen.
Amen.
Jesus is the answer.
When the charge went dark, when the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
Oh, I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen,
Going stream,
thinking one more win would finally make me complete.
made me complete.
Running after green candles like they could save my soul.
Like my soul.
The prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne.
Ooh, yeah.
Build my house on sand,
House on sand.
watch the tide roll in.
Watch the tide roll in.
Learning every earthly
Every king
kingdom has an end.
come has an end.
Some valleys look so deep,
So deep,
I couldn't see the light.
couldn't see the light.
Some storms got so strong,
Souls got so
strong I couldn't wait to fight.
Couldn't fight.
But every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child,
keep walking on.
not because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worried,
not because I'm strong,
not because I'm strong,
but because the shepherd
never share.
never leaves his own.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
the anchor in the storm when the market starts to sway. Through the highs and lows,
Through the joy and pain,
the cross still stands when
everything goes fake.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone,
Every man
there fear inside my chest,
so bold.
questions without answers,
Answers.
battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch,
But Psalm 23.
kept reminding me to trust. So I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies. I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side. The rod and the staff, the comfort and grace, the God of resurrection meeting me in that place. I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock. I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy,
Life story I could never write.
turning broken chances into testimony and life.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer,
Jesus is the way.
the anchor in the storm when the
Market's about to sway.
through the highs and lows.
Through the joy and pain,
The call still stands when
everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley's found.
If you're tired of running,
If you're carrying change,
if you're searching for purpose,
in success or in fame,
the good news is simple.
debt has been paid. Jesus took our place upon the cross that day.
3 days later,
The stone rolled away.
death lost the victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes
Whoever will come
will find forgiveness in the Father's
I
Son.
still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope is eternal and the outcome is dead. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall.
Christ remains Lord over all.
The market can give,
The market can take
but eternity rests.
on a different step.
So when the candles flicker,
And uncertainty grows.
so remember the one who's already in control.
The Lamb who was slain.
The King